had a little bit of motivation supplied by Coach Tony Mason. Now we're ready to get back into some of those drills and techniques, and one guy who really likes to get into this stuff, especially from the defensive line perspective, is the Cowboys' defensive coordinator, last year the defensive line coach, Butch Davis. Butch, you're going to be with us for 2 segments this afternoon. What are we going to see in segment number 1?
Well, Craig, today the first segment we're going to do is we're going to do the evaluation process of trying to determine drills and skills that will help develop defensive linemen, and then we'll move from there into actually coaching defensive linemen in playing the run. The first drill that we're going to do is just do a form running drill to get guys loose. This is something that we do in training camp. We do it every day in practice, this set of drills, and gives the guys an opportunity to get loose before we get into some more advanced things. So, Tony, if you'd start us off with a nice, good form running and go a little bit past the numbers. Nice high knees, good form running. Pick your knees up and work your elbows. Nice and easy. There you go. Okay. Now then, Tony, if you'll just stay there and start working yourself and come back, and now over-exaggerate. Good high knees and good high arms. That's perfect. Good job, Tony. There you go. Good high knees. Tuck the chins in. Keep the elbows in. Real good. Nice job, guys. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now, Tony, let's pick the pace up, and this time let's cover ground. Let's go ahead and do the high knees, but just to the numbers. And this time, don't worry about how fast you go. Let's see how fast that you can move your feet. All right. Up and high. There you go. Perfect, Tony. Relax right there. That's good. That's enough. Now, Tony, if you guys would just walk on back down here. What we tried to do in that drill was to encourage good form running, keep their shoulders over their knees, over-exaggerate their arm movement, and get their knees pumping and see how fast that they can move their feet. Okay, guys, if you would, if you get behind Tony again. And now, Tony, let's do this. Let's do our quick foot karaoke drill, but let's do it at about half speed, okay? The important thing here that we're trying to do is we're trying to get good eye contact with the coach as he goes down in good position, working, again, keeping his shoulders over his knees. About 3/4 speed, Tony, nice and easy. When you get to the numbers, just relax. Go. Nice and easy. That's it. There you go. Down low. That's it. Nice and easy. Working your feet. Okay, a little faster right there. Okay. Now, Tony, just walk on back. All right. Again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to see, and Tony, you can stop right there and we'll go back this direction. What we're trying to do is we're trying to evaluate hip flexibility and how quick they can turn their feet over. Okay, now, Tony, a little quicker tempo. Okay, go. Hang on, Todd, and let him go. Perfect. That's good, Tony. Go. Nice and fast. Relax. That's good. Okay, Melvin, real fast and quick. Nice job. Eyes up, forward. Good. Real good. Go. Real quick. Keep your shoulders down, working on the balls of your feet. Okay. Now then, if I can, is there a football out here someplace? Let me get a football. And okay. All right. To be any great defensive lineman, the next most important thing as far as movement is moving on the football. And every day, most of the drills that we do with the defensive linemen are going to have to do with some form of fashion of reaction to the ball. And so now all we're going to do is I'm just going to slightly exaggerate and move the ball and let guys come off half speed, just visualizing and seeing the football. So just nice and easy, Tony, just moving. Real good. Just moving off the football. There you go. Good job. See the ball, good explosion. Boom. That's it. Nice job. There you go. Good job. Just stay on down there, Tony, again, and we'll come back. Okay. Again, what we're trying to do here is get them to focus and be reaction off of the ball. When the ball moves, we want to try to get an explosion and upfield movement towards the ball. Boom. There you go. Nice and quick. There you go. Real good. Okay? Very good. Now then, Tony, let's go on over here to the bags. Thank you. All right, Tony. Now, this phase of the drills that we're going to do, again, these are drills, again, to try to encourage guys to work on their foot quickness, to try to work on their agility, to try to work on their quickness, their balance, and their coordination. And we do a set of different drills with these bags. We'll do what we call a trash drill, where we'll go over the bags. We'll do one where we'll do a weave drill, and then we'll do a slalom drill. And all of these are to try to not only improve their skills, but to build their confidence that they can play over traffic. When they're in defensive line, they're going to be involved in playing in traffic an awful lot of the time. So Tony, what we'll do is let's go about half speed, and we'll go over the bags when you get off, and do it just half speed to start off with. And Todd, and once he gets off, then you can start, so we don't go rapid fire too much. All right, Tony, nice and good. Go. Real good. Good arm action, stop. Great example right there, again, of shoulders over the knees, arms moving, nice and fluid and smooth. Okay, Todd, same thing. Eyes up on me. There you go. 1 foot out. Here we go. All right, Melvin. Perfect. That's it. Good knees. Eyes looking forward. Good job. There you go. Real good. Nice job. Okay. This time, Tony, going back. Let's heat it up just a little bit quicker. Go. Nice job, Tony. Real good. All right, Todd. Real quick. Eyes looking at me. There you go. Good. Nice job. Here we go. All right, Melvin. Eyes up. Good arm action. Real good job. All right, going back. Very good, very good. Okay, Tony, if you want to start at the back of the bag, this next drill is a weave drill where they're going to shuffle. And again, the whole idea of this is to encourage balance and coordination. Tony, if you'll start at the back and you shuffle forward and going back. Go. Not working for speed, just working for technique. Eyes forward, nice and good, a little burst. Good job, Tony. Working, staying down low, Todd, looking at me. Try to encourage the player to look at the coach all the time so he can see into the backfield. Work, that's it. Working the arms, that's it. Good job, Melvin. There you go. Good work. A little burst off the end. Good job. All right, here we go. Stay down low. That's it. Good eye contact. Keep working your arms. There you go. Okay, real good job. Okay, Tony, we'll do the same thing going back. Okay, this time try to really exaggerate. Good quick burst when you get to the back of each bag. All right, go. Shuffle, shuffle. Now a little burst. There you go. Shuffle, shuffle, a little forward burst. That's it. Now burst to the ball. Nice job, Tony. Good job, Todd. There you go. Good work. Working the arms all the time. Working the arms. All right, Melvin, here we go. Down low. Good job, Melvin. That'll way to work. Your hands. Eyes forward, looking forward. Real good. Okay, go. Real good job. Whoops, keep your balance. Looking forward. Take your time. Go ahead. There you go. One of the things, guys, that we want to try to encourage is not the speed of the drill. We don't care. There's no points. You're not going to impress anybody by how fast you do it. We want you to master the technique. Once you get good, then you can coach up the idea of trying to improve and how fast you can go. Okay, Tony, now you'll face me. And this one is going to be, start back up. And Tony will do our Z drill where you're going like that, nice and easy, and just planting and coming to me. Real easy. Go. There you go. Little plant and burst. That's it. In this drill, nice job, Tony. Excellent. Wait, Todd. In this drill, what we're trying to do, guys, again, is we're trying to encourage foot agility, balance, coordination, and the confidence that you can move through traffic without looking at your feet. Okay, Todd. Nice and easy. There you go. Stay down low and work. Shuffle and slide. Little burst. Good job. That's it. Nice. A good burst, Todd. There you go. All right, Melvin, here we go. Good. Real good. Real good. Excellent. That's it, Melvin. Good job. Down low. Keep a good low center of gravity. Now, working your arms and always trying to look at the coach. Try to get a visual picture. There you go. A little burst, a little agility. Okay. Nice job. All right, guys. Good work so far. Okay. Now then, Tony, come on over here. We're going to do one more drill, and if I can get everybody to back up just a little bit. And Tony, you're going to start right there. And this next drill is, the drills that we've done so far have been to evaluate their feet, their hips, their agility, their ability to change direction. The next drill that we're going to do has got to do almost exclusively with balance, okay? And Tony, I'm going to ask you to come running at me, and you're going to run about 3/4 speed. Then I'm going to raise the ball, and I want you to do a 360 and spin and come on by me, okay? Just at about 3/4 speed. And you can do it from an up position, Tony. Why don't you go ahead and do it from an up position? All right, go. Boom. There you go. Good. Real good. All right, Todd, here we go. Go. Spin. Okay, there you go. Come on. Go. That's it, Melvin. Go. Spin. Okay? Stay there, and we'll come back, and I'm going to send you the other direction. The purpose of this drill, guys, is there's a lot of times that a player is going to be put in a situation that he's going to lose sight of the ball carrier or possibly the quarterback, and it may be in the midst of trying to do a particular pass rush drill where he is spinning, or it may be where he has come off of a block and he sees the ball cutting back and going a different direction, and all we're trying to do is build the skills involved and the technique involved of making a move and losing sight of something and then relocating and not veering off on a wide path away from the ball carrier or the quarterback. Go. There you go, Tony. Good. Good. Come on, Todd. There you go. Real good. Nice job. Come right to me. Go. Good. There you go, Melvin. Go. Oops. All right. Good job. All right. Now then. Okay. The last drill that we'll do before we get into the football portion of it is just going to be a reactionary wave drill. Tony, why don't you come on up right here, and we'll let you do this. All I'm going to ask Tony to do at this particular stage now is he's going to be in a football position. He's going to be in a two-point stance with his feet slightly wider than his shoulders. His tail's going to be ducked, and I'm going to take him and I'm going to make him react to what he sees. He's going to see the ball go in different directions. I'm going to send him one way. I'm going to send him another. I'm going to bring him to me. I'm going to send him back. Okay? And what this is going to do is this is going to judge his reactionary skills, how quick he can react to what he sees, because to be a defensive lineman, it is all reaction. You've got to react to the offensive lineman. You've got to react after the play begins. And so this is one of the really important drills that we'll try to do. All right. Boom. Perfect. Good job. There you go. All right, Todd, here we go. Good quick reaction now, sliding and moving with the ball. Boom, shuffle, get over there. Backing up. Now come to me, drive. There you go. Good, good, good. All right, Melvin, here we go. Real quick now. Boom. Back up, now drive. There you go. Good, Melvin. That'll way to work. Good job. All right. Good position. Feet a little bit tighter there. All right. Go. Slide over. Come on back. Now back up. Now burst and drive. All right. Nice job. Good job. Okay. Now then, we can actually start getting into some football. Guys, if you'd give me a single line across through here and face the coaches and the cameras and spread out, get more than an arm's length apart. As with anything else in football, there's no way that you can play unless you've got good fundamentals. And it all starts with defensive linemen and having a great stance. You cannot play the game without having a great stance, feeling comfortable. As you can see, we got 4 football players here that have all got 4 different body types. Tall guys, thick guys, short guys. So no football coach can ever coach one stance. It's not going to fit them all. I couldn't have got Ed Jones to have the same exact stance as Todd Jones. They're going to be different. One guy's 6'9", one guy's 6'3". The most important thing in coaching players with the stance, the way we started off is we want their feet to be slightly wider than their shoulders. Okay? So guys, why don't you take your feet and put them slightly wider than your shoulders. We want a heel, what we call a heel-toe stagger. We want the right foot, the toes, to be even with the heel of their left feet. Okay? You can get in a right-handed stance, Tony, or a left-handed stance, either one. Okay? All right. Now then, the second most important thing is proper weight distribution. Okay? I'm going to ask Tony to get down in a stance, and you're going to see that Tony has got his hand. A great judge of a good stance is that his hand should be somewhere between 4 to 6 inches in front of his face mask once you stand up and relax. Okay? I'm going to ask Todd to give you an example of a bad stance. Todd, why don't you get down in a stance and get your feet real tight together. Put them even tighter than that. Okay? And put your hand underneath your face. Okay? In a stance like this, there's no way that a defensive lineman would have any kind of an explosive explosion off the ball. He's got a poor sense of balance in that he doesn't have very good, he's not in a situation where he could take on blockers and have any kind of a power base. Okay, Todd, stand up just a second. Another common mistake by some of the players that you'll see is go ahead and get a good stance, Melvin, with your feet and get your hand way out in front of you. Okay? Even more so, exaggerate it. You'll see players sometimes And there's no way that a player with a stance like this can do anything but go down, okay? He's got too much weight forward on his hand, okay? Now then, not everybody that we're talking to today is going to use a three-point stance. I'm a proponent of a three-point stance because playing in the defensive line involves the ability to use your hands, to get a hold of blockers, to shed blockers, to control blockers, and to get off of them. But I know that there's guys out there that teach four-point stances. So why don't you get down in a stance and get in a four-point stance and put both hands and get your tail up in the air. The same principles apply here. If I was going to coach a player in a four-point stance, I would still want the same structure with his feet. I'd still want his hands slightly wider than his face mask, okay, with his eyes looking up, okay? Now then, the other thing, okay, you can relax and stand up, all right? The next thing, okay, once we've got them in a good, comfortable stance, feet slightly wider, now all four of you, if you would, if you'd get down in the stance, the next thing that's very important is to have the free hand hanging, the hand that's not there. We don't want it resting on the knee. We don't want it cocked way back. We want it hanging next to the ground. You can see Tony. Go ahead and let it hang, Tony. Let your free hand hang. Perfect, right there. All these guys have got great-looking stances. Their feet are in good position. Their hands are down, slightly wider. You notice that their tail end is slightly higher than their helmet, which is going to give them that hip snap, that explosion to get off and to negate the offensive lineman, okay? The reason, okay, everybody can stand up except for Todd. Todd, why don't you go back down? The reason that you want the free hand hanging, okay, and this is very important, is that when Todd makes this initial step, and step forward just for a second, Todd, when he steps forward to the line of scrimmage to get a hold of the offensive lineman, you want both hands at the same time to be coming forward. You don't want one hand coming from the ground up and this hand cocked. Now you're not going to be able to grasp the offensive lineman, okay? So go ahead and let's get back down in the stance again, okay? One little common trick that I use to find out if they're in good stances is I'll walk up there, and if I kick their hand and they fall forward, it's perfect. They got just enough weight on their front hand that it would allow them to lose their balance. Okay, guys, now stand up, okay? Now then, Tony, let's do with you. Let's get a single line, and if we can, let's do it right here, and everybody get behind Tony. Okay? Now then, let's see, I'll do it on this side right here. Now that we've got them in a good stance, okay? Just go ahead and stand up just a second. Now we've got them in a good stance. Feet slightly wider than their shoulders, free, their hand down with slight pressure on their forehand, their free hand hanging. The next most important thing in developing defensive linemen is the ability to react and to move on the football and to explode. And tying in some of those drills that we did earlier, the explosion part of it with great arm action, to explode and come off the ball with the ability to get a hold of the offensive lineman. So if we can, Tony, now let's give them a great explosion off of the ball. Okay? There you go. Good, good. Real good explosion now, Todd. Good stance, a little wider with your feet. A little wider, bring your right foot up just a little bit, a little more weight on your front hand. There you go. Tail up just a little bit. Sit. There you go. Good. All right, Melvin, good explosion. Now really, really come off the ball. Sit. Good. There you go. Nice job. Sit. Good. Okay. All right. Those are the things, guys, that are the fundamentals that give you a chance to kind of start teaching defensive linemen. Now, Tony, why don't you do this? Why don't you stand there, and Todd, why don't you get across from Tony? Melvin, you get there, and you come over here for just a second, okay? Now then, as we progress from the evaluation stage of drills that will help them to master and accomplish some athletic skills and stuff, now we're going to move into the phase of the demonstration that's going to show you how to coach them to play in the defensive line. The defensive line techniques and stuff that we use with the Dallas Cowboys and that I used when I was coaching at the University of Miami and Oklahoma State and stuff is an aggressive, attacking defensive style, okay? We are not going to sit there and catch. I mean, it's real obvious that as good of an athlete as Tony is at 260 pounds, he cannot catch Todd as an offensive lineman that he might give up 45 pounds to, okay? And the same being the example here. We want to try to give the defensive lineman as big of an advantage as we can by the speed and quickness and explosion off the ball and the ability to get on a blocker and to get off of the blocker. Okay? So what we're going to do right here is we're going to show how we start off teaching individual things. Okay? We've already showed you the stance. We've already showed you the explosion. The next phase is what we call pre-lock-up reads, where we're going to put the player in a position to defeat certain blocks. Okay? I'm going to put Tony and Todd in a pre-lock-up position. Okay? And Tony, put your head in the V of Todd's neck right here and just kind of stop right there. Okay? This position would demonstrate exactly how it would look if I took all the contact out of the drill. Okay? You can do it in shorts, you can do it in full helmets and shoulder pads, but Todd is locked up and Todd's going to block Tony. We want our defensive linemen, we want their head, okay, to hit into the V of the neck. And when we turn around right here, Todd, bend down just a little bit. And Tony, go ahead and put your head in the V of the neck right there so you're looking over his shoulders, looking over his shoulders. This is the perfect example of how you'd like defensive linemen to fit up on an offensive blocker. It gives Tony an opportunity to see what's happening in the backfield. He can see, is it run, is it pass, is it misdirection, is it flow strong side or weak side. We've got Tony's hands being inside, and this is a great visual picture. We want his hands inside with his thumbs up, okay, so that he can use the strength of his arms and his butt and his legs to separate the blocker, okay. This will give him a chance to negate the offensive blocker and get them separated. Okay, now unlock and y'all assume a position, Tony, as a defensive lineman and offensive lineman, and just step into each other and then freeze after you lock up. Back up just a little bit, Tony. There you go. About just now, half speed now, because we don't want a lot of contact now. Here we go. Now, let's do it again. I'll do it on my, I'll just say set. Okay? All right, here we go. Boom, right there. That's great reaction with Tony, his first foot step. That puts him in a position, okay, of what we just showed you, a pre-lockup position. From learning that, okay, now then we can take this drill and we can do everything that you want to do. We can teach them with Todd, and I'm going to give you some examples of Todd trying to reach Tony right here. So Tony, okay, go to a pre-lockup, and Todd, when I say set, you try to reach him. And Tony's going to be in that position, and Tony's going to separate from Todd and turn his shoulders. All right, here we go. Go. Good, right there. Come on back. You two guys jump up here now. Okay? Do the same thing. You're going to try to reach Melvin. Go ahead and pre-lock up. Melvin, get your hands inside. And when I say go, you try to reach, block him. Hit him on his outside number and try to block him. Say, go. Good, right there. Okay? Again, Melvin's trying to work low, keep his weight down over his knees, his butt down low, and he's trying to, all the time, he's trying to turn the shoulders of the offensive lineman. Okay? Now, let's go back again. Melvin, you two guys, same thing. All right? This time, go as if you were going to try to cut Melvin off. Okay? All right, here we go. From a pre-lockup, go ahead and put your hands on his outside right there. Here we go. Go! Good, good, right there. And Melvin's locking and pushing. All right? Go again, Melvin. Okay? This time try to reach him again. And I'm going to make a point here. All right, Melvin, really lock hard with your left hand now. Here we go. Say, hey! Good, good, right there. You notice, okay, how Melvin was fighting the pressure that the offensive lineman was applying. He was fighting the pressure by really driving the left arm and locking it out and pulling with the backside arm, okay? A drill, Tony, you and Todd come up here and demonstrate this. A great drill to teach this that takes a lot of contact out of it is what we call just a snatch and pull drill, where I'll say, I'll have them lock up and I'll have Tony go ahead and get a hold of them, and I'll say, okay, Tony, give me three real good, like a reach block, okay? Go. Boom. Go. Go. Okay? Just do the, not necessarily an escape on a pass rush, just lock and pull and snap where you're pulling with the backside arm. Go. Perfect. Go. Go. Okay, now do it as if it was a cutoff and lock with the other arm and pull with the backside arm. Go. Good. Go. Go. Okay, you two guys jump up and demonstrate this. This drill, guys, it takes all the contact out, but you can work the technique and the feel of locking with the inside arm to keep the defensive player's shoulders square, but to turn the offensive lineman. All right, Melvin, here we go. Go. There you go. 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 Real good. Good. Go the other way. Hit. Real good. Hit. Good. Hit. Nice. Good job. Good job. Now come on back up. Okay? You've seen an example of how to play, of getting players in a good stance. You've seen examples of how players should fit up. You'd like to have them hitting the V of the neck. You want the defensive player's hands to go on the inside. You want the defensive player to be able to control the offensive lineman's shoulders by either locking and pulling or locking and pulling with the inside arm. That's all good. That's progression teaching, and that's what we're doing. We're starting with the stance, and we're going to eventually go all the way to the tackle. We've taken the contact out of it. Now we're going to show you what we call how do you escape from the blocker, okay? And we teach 3 different methods of escape to get away from blockers, okay? We're going to teach what we call a rip escape, okay? We're going to teach a wipe escape, and we're going to teach a snatch escape. And we're going to teach those 3 different types. Tony, if you and Todd would lock up, okay, and go ahead, Tony, and turn him as if you had already controlled his shoulders, okay? You've got him turned. Now then, Tony's got to make a decision once he's in that position right there. Where's the ball carrier? If the ball carrier is coming at Tony directly at him, he's got to escape that guy, and we encourage him to use a rip technique to play, to escape, to come make the tackle when the ball's in his area of concern, okay? When he locks up again and he turns the guy, all right, and the ball is way outside of his area, okay? He is completely away from the ball carrier. He's got to take a different angle. Now we teach him to do what we call a cross-face wipe, where he's going to pull his arm down and come over right there so that he can flatten and take a better angle, okay? Now then, he finds himself in the same situation. He's still locked up, okay? He's got the guy turned, and now the ball is clearly, it's a toss sweep, it's a pass, a swing pass. Now he's going to snatch the guy down, okay? And now he's going to flatten out on a snatch. All right, go. Boom, right there. All right, so now we'll come back and we'll demonstrate all of these in kind of a little bit more of a full-speed manner. Okay, Tony. Here we go. Now, Todd, with slight little bit of pressure with you, if you and Tony will lock up right here, okay, he's going to use a rip technique. All right, here we go. Go! Boom, right there. Good, good. Walk back, okay. Get ready, Melvin. All right, here we go, Todd. All right, same thing now, Tony. Now I want you to do a cross-face wipe escape. The ball's clearly outside of your area. Good, good burst. Getting off of the blocker. Good. Okay, and then the last one, let's do a snatch. And this time, Tony, as Todd's got you, Todd's going to be trying to reach you, and he's going to run with you, and you're going to have to snatch him just a little bit. All right? Here we go. Now run a little bit with him, Todd. Go. Boom. There you go. You saw how he took the jersey, and he separated, and then he used the offensive player's own bulk against him and threw him to the inside. Come on up, Melvin, guys. Okay, jump over there on offense. Okay, Melvin, let's do a good rip. Now get them locked up and get them turned, okay? And when I say go, you're going to try to reach them about half speed. All right, now bend down just a little bit now, Melvin. All right, go. Okay, come on back. Come on back. All right, now, Melvin. One of the common mistakes, and guys, this is probably as important a thing as you can say to young defensive linemen, is something that Melvin did right there. Never try to escape a blocker until you've got control of them. All you'll do is get yourself in terrible, critical situations. You'll get yourself either blocked, you'll get yourself knocked back into to your linebackers, okay? What Melvin did that time was he had the offensive lineman defeated, and he was going to go ahead and he wanted to try to rip and step through and go make the tackle. But he found himself underneath the offensive lineman, and he let go of one hand right here. He let go of his backside hand to try to get away from the blocker, okay, which would give this guy the chance to go ahead and push him by the hole or push him by the ball carrier. You never want to separate. You would a lot rather be in control of the blocker and still in your area of responsibility the entire time than to ever actually make the tackle and get blocked. Let's try it again, Melvin. Okay, go ahead and lock up and get separation and get him turned. Go ahead and turn his shoulders right here. All right, and get ready when I say go. Go. Better. You see how much better? He was patient, Melvin. He waited until he clearly got control of the guy and got outside of the offensive blocker before he tried to rip and escape. Okay, same thing in this time now, Melvin. Cross face wipe him, okay? All right, little movement by the offensive guy and try to reach him. Here we go. Go. Good. There you go. Good, Melvin. Come on back. This time now, exaggerate the reach and run them on down the line and then separate when you get to the line down there, Melvin, on a snatch, all right? Here we go. Go. Run, 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 run. Now snatch him. Perfect. Nice job, Melvin. Real good job. All right, guys, come on up. Okay. Now then, the area in coaching this, Melvin, why don't you come on over here and we'll put two guys against one now. All right, good. All right. We've talked about guys about playing one-on-one blocks, reach blocks, cutoff blocks, drive blocks, position for the head. The head's got to go in the V of the neck so that you can see the action in the backfield. We've talked about getting your hands on them so that you can get separation, so that you can escape. Okay? Before we take it too much further and get into the actual pursuit and the tackling of a particular play, we need to talk a little bit about what happens with a defensive lineman when there are two blockers engaged on one particular guy. Okay? And again, one of the things, and I developed this theory, and I've done it all the way with the Dallas Cowboys. When I was in high school, you had limited number of players to coach. And so consequently, you didn't have service guys. You didn't have scout team players. You didn't have practice squad players. You didn't have the junior varsity. And so consequently, everybody had to service everybody. And sometimes it might have been the right side had to service the left side. So basically, when you're going to work two-on-one, what we're going to try to do is to encourage the player, how am I going to play all the blocking schemes that would involve two different types of plays, two different players. Double teams, slips, and power scrapes, where two guys are trying to block one defensive lineman. And again, to take the contact out of it, we'll do these when we have full pads on, and we will include the stance, the get off, and the head and hand placement. We're going to take all that out of this. Now, Tony, if you'd assume a pre-lockup position with Melvin, okay, and we're going to do what we call a power scrape, where this player is trying to reach, but he's getting help from somebody outside, okay? Todd's going to come off, and he's going to try to put a hand on Tony and come off to the second level and block a linebacker, okay? So, Todd, if you'll get down and get ready, when I say go, now then you'll slam him and you'll come to me as if I'm the linebacker. All right, here we go. Say, hey, go. Okay, good. Now let's go back. What you just saw, okay, what you just saw out of Tony was Tony in a pre-lockup position, okay, trying to work Melvin and trying to turn his shoulders. When he felt the offensive lineman from the outside slam, Tony braced himself on his inside hip and he turned his shoulders to make his body thin. He wants to try to reduce the blocking surface as much as possible so that if both guys stay on, he's got a great chance to split them. Now then, when the second guy comes off, as Todd did, now he finds himself in a controlled situation. Go back just a little bit. In a controlled situation as if it was a one-on-one, and now he has to make the determination, what do? Do I rip? Do I cross-face wipe? Where is the ball? Has the ball already crossed me? You know, now I've controlled my area, and I've got to make a decision. How can I get the ball to the best of my ability? Let's go back again, okay? This time, Todd, stay on him just a little bit longer and make Tony have to really lean into you and turn his shoulders, all right? Here we go. There you go. Go, go, go. There you go. Good. Nice, Tony. Good. Let's go back, and this time let's slip him, okay? And when I say I use the term slip, again, this is terminology. It means that the play is going away from Tony. But two guys, again, are trying to block the defensive lineman with one of them trying to come off and just kind of walk through it, Todd. You and Melvin, just walking through a slip. Go. Go ahead, Melvin. Try to come off to me. All right? You can see what's happening right here. The inside guy, the one guy, and it could be a center and a guard, it can be a guard and a tackle, it could be a tackle and a tight end, are all trying to combination block this guy with one of them coming off to the second level. Now then, Tony again has got his visual key. This is the guy that he's keying on. This is the guy that's telling him what's the action. Is it run? Is it pass? Is it at me? Is it away from me? Am I the point of attack? This is his visual key. This is how he's determining where the action's going to be. So as Tony fits up again on him, the whole thing that he wants to do is keep his shoulders square. He's got his shoulders with his weight balance. He's got good leg position right here. And again, he's going to take his visual key and try to flatten that guy down the line of scrimmage and pull the backside hip away from the guy that's trying to execute the slip. Okay? Here we go. When I say go. Go. Good, good. Right there. Come back. Let's go a little bit hotter pace this time, Todd. Try to drop step and get flat and try to cut Tony off. Okay? Here we go again. First sound. Here we go. Hey. Good, good, good. Right there. You notice how Tony kept his shoulders square all the way down the line of scrimmage. He kept good leverage. One of the things, and a real common mistake by young players, like I said a while ago, young players have a tendency sometimes to want to let go before they have control, or let go before they know where the ball is. Tony did a great job as the ball went down the line of scrimmage. He did a great job of keeping his arms extended, keeping that separation so that he's got a chance to escape either direction wherever the ball goes, okay? And he's got a chance to keep control of the offensive lineman. The worst mistake young defensive linemen can make is miss hitting with their hands. Their hands go here and they miss. Now all of a sudden the offensive lineman's got them buried. They've got them pinned up underneath. Or they've got their hands in the wrong position. They've got them, one's inside and maybe one's down low. Or one's outside and one's inside, and they lose their contact points to grab a hold of the offensive lineman. And there's no way, if Melvin's blocking me and I don't have my hands on him, and even if I know the ball's coming at me, how can I go get it? How can I get this guy? I can't get off of the guy because he's got me knocked off the ball, and I can't get off of him. So he's got to keep his hands on him. All right? Now then, Tony, for those, and relax just a second, and we're going to do this even without pads, but the next thing that you see an awful lot is just out-and-out true double-team blocks. Everybody says, well, what are you going to do when two guys try to block one? Okay? You know, well, our philosophy is if we can trade one defensive lineman for two offensive linemen, somebody else is going to make the play. And what we tell Tony to do is we tell him to go ahead and fit up, and he's going to turn into the outside guy as if it was the same power scrape, but once he feels a lot of pressure, okay, he's going to seat into the ground. Go ahead and seat down into the ground and go ahead and turn on your left hip, Tony. There you go. And he's going to try to, what we say, split him as he's going down, and he's going to try to explode and drive through the two offensive linemen. Okay, let's go from a pre-lockup. Okay, and this time put a little pressure on him, Todd, and Tony, just go ahead and seat into the guy. Here we go. Sit. Boom. Like that. Okay, you see what happened right there? We traded one defensive lineman who did not get knocked off the line of scrimmage, who didn't get knocked into the linebackers, for two offensive linemen. And if you can get a 2-for-1 trade-off in any blocking scheme, you're going to come out with an advantage. You're going to have an opportunity to do something real good. Okay? All right. Now then, as kind of a lead-in, Todd, why don't you jump inside here and Melvin take a break just for a second. As kind of a lead-in to the next segment that's going to have to do with pass rush. Okay? Tony has to have a great stance. Good defensive linemen have got to be explosive. They've got to put their hands in the right place, their head in the right place. They've got to get separation. But the thing that makes the difference between good defensive linemen and average defensive linemen is the ability to recognize exactly what's going to happen. The thing that's going to separate them from players that don't make plays is being able to ascertain what is this guy's intentions. And Tony, as he sits here, Todd, do me a favor. Take a zone step at a 45, okay? When I say hut. Boom, right there. Obviously, Tony, what kind of read's that? That's a run read, okay? Now, Todd, give me a quick set, a short set firm. Here we go. Boom, right there. It's pass. You've got to school the defensive lineman to recognize the intentions immediately, to know exactly what they're doing, exactly what the intentions are. Is it run? Is it reach or cut off? Or is it drive block? Is it a double team power scrape? Or is it pass? Because the difference between what he did initially as far as like coming off the ball and fitting up, if Todd comes up and sets up in a pass set like that, Tony doesn't want to come off and get into the middle of this guy and let this guy try to grab him because it was a pass set. He's supposed to be rushing the passer. He has to make a split decision between was it run and was it pass. Okay? So I think, what do we got? 8 more? All right, well, good. Let's go over here. Let's go to this part right over here. Guys, if we can, come on over here. A great drill, okay? Tony, why don't you and Melvin start off and go down to your knees right here. Guys, a great way to start with young defensive linemen in teaching is some drills that we call 4-point and 6-point explosions, okay? They got their knee, and the reason we call it 6-point is he's got his toes, he's got his knees, and he's got his hands. And the whole purpose of these kind of drills are to encourage the player to use the strongest part of their body to take on the offensive lineman, to use their thighs, to use their hips, and to use their back. Okay? So what I'm going to ask them to do is I'm going to ask them on my foot movement to simulate the ball to explode off and put their nose right in the middle of the block, or right between the 0 and the 1, and bring their hands and flatten their backs out. Okay? Here we go. Watching me and seeing my foot. Say, perfect. Excellent. Now, relax just a second. What you saw right there, guys, you saw how both players went prone. They led with their nose, they led with their hands, and their back became flat to simulate that hip snap. That's where they generated all their power. That's where they generated all their strength. That is a great example. Let's do it again. Okay? Here we go. Hands back, up on your knees. Say, perfect. Excellent job. Next 2 guys, jump up here, Todd. Real good. Okay. Here we go. Same thing. Down on all fours. Okay. Down on all fours, bunched up. Nose right in the middle. Toes curled up. Here we go. Sit. Good, good, good. Stop. Go ahead and stay down. This kind of a drill encourages 2 things. Okay. It encourages the use of hip snap, but it also encourages leading with the hands. The hands have got to hit the offensive blocker at exactly the same time as the face mask. When we're trying to hit the V of the neck, we don't want the head, you don't lead with the head and then bring the hands, and you don't bring the hands and then try to peek and see. They've got to be simultaneously. Let's try it again. Okay? Here we go. Sit. Good. Real good. Tony, you and Melvin jump up. Okay? Now then, this time we're going to do it as an up 3-point explosion. Now we've gotten them off of their knees. So now you're in a full stance, and you're going to come off and do the exact same thing. Good explosion, free hand hanging. Say, boom. Very good. Excellent. Good job. This time, Tony, you guys, go ahead and bring your feet with you. Now, okay, don't just lunge. Now you want to go ahead and explode, put your hands on them, and bring your feet. Say, right, good, 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 good. Heads up and everything. All right, here we go, Melvin, or Todd. All right, guys, same thing. Good full speed explosion, head and hands hitting, good stance, tails up in the air. Get your tail up in the air. Make sure that you got a little bit more weight on your lead hand there. All right, here we go. Set. What happened there was 5 yards, right? Jumping off sides. Okay, again, guys, and I recommend this, and I stress this all the time. Make sure, as a coach, okay, that you're always using something to simulate the movement of the ball. Move. This time I'm doing it with my foot, okay? You can use a ball, you can use your foot, but always make sure that you're doing it somehow so that they don't get used to voice contact. All right, going on my foot. All right, here we go. Same thing. Moving your feet. Sit. There you go. Good. All right, one more time. This time bring your feet all the way with you and run through it. Run through it. Here we go. Sit. Good. Very good job. Real good job. Okay. Now then, Tony, you and Melvin, come up here. Another great thing, guys, and I can't say enough about, field equipment is one of the things I think is a real necessity, okay? Whether it's the bags, whether it's sleds, it gives you an opportunity, it gives you a great opportunity to use equipment to take the burden of the pounding of two guys hitting each other all the time. You can perfect techniques outstandingly. I learned this coaching in junior high and high school, that if a player develops the confidence to execute a technique on a pad or against a bag or against a sled or a dummy, and he can perfect the technique through reps over and over and over, when he gets the chance to simulate that technique live against another opponent, he's already got the confidence inside of him that he can execute the technique, that he can make the technique work, rather than being cold turkey thrown in a situation where he's in a combative situation where it's a win or lose against another player, and all he's looking for is survival. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to look bad. I don't want my peers. I don't want to be the guy that gets knocked on my butt, or I don't want to be the guy that doesn't do it right. If they can learn to perfect techniques. So all the little things that you've seen us do, rip drills, cross-face wipes, shed, lockout, 6-point and 4-point explosions, we'll do these things in shorts. We'll do them in pads long before we ever have the opportunity to do them against somebody else. Guys, what I'd like to see you do this time is a full-speed explosion, a separation, and now then a rip as if the ball is right at you, just like we did over there, okay? He's going left and you're coming right, okay? All right, here we go. Sit. No, let's go again. Both of you did arm overs. Your drill's ahead of me. Drill's ahead of me. All right, let's go with rips. Let's go with a rip, okay? Here we go. Red, set, boom. There you go. Good. Next two guys up. Next two guys up, okay? Here we go. Rip for an escape. The ball's at the point of attack. Set. Good. Right there. Right there. Okay? Come back up. Tony, you and Melvin. Just walk back up here. Okay? That was one of the drills. Okay? That was a rip for an escape. Okay? And you notice when Tony came up here and Tony locked up, go ahead and lock up with the bag, he did the same thing on the sled that he did with the person a while ago. He pulled with this arm right here, pulled, and then he shot this arm underneath the shoulder to get leverage and get underneath the pad. You can rep these drills over and over against sleds, and it gives you an opportunity to execute the drills. This time, guys, do a cross-face wipe. Each of you go a different direction. Okay? Here we go. Sit. Good. Right there. Guys, come on up. Here we go. Here we go. Same thing. Cross-face wipe. Sit. Good. Real good. Nice job. Very good job. Very good job. Okay? This time again. This time, Tony, come up and do this for me one time. Let's go a full speed, hit and separate and lock it out and just demonstrate for everybody that there's a lot more separation. Okay? Here we go. All right. Sit. All right, let's go again on the foot. On the foot, Melvin. Here we go. Black 16. Sit. Boom, right there. Excellent example. Excellent example right there. You see how the players got the sled away from their body. It showed leverage and it showed separation. It showed them getting the blocker away from them. Okay? Last one. All right, here we go. Last one. Sit. Get it away from you. There you go. Real good job. Guys, nice job. Let's walk over here. And are there any questions before we go on? Kind of informally on the cuff right here that you'd like to ask, and we can go ahead and answer questions right here.
How does your stance change with different speeds?
You know, we play a four-man front, and we teach rundown situations, all four of our down guys use exactly the same stance. The tackles and the defensive ends use exactly the same. Now, we change the stances slightly when we go to a pass rush situation, but it's predominantly, it's a little bit more exaggerated with the feet. It's a little bit more of a little tighter stance, a little bit more of a sprinter stance, and probably a little bit more weight forward on their hands. But for the defensive tackles, the ends, we do not change the stances at all. Anybody else?
What technique do you guys use against the trap block?
Okay, our defensive scheme is built on what we refer to as a spill technique. That anytime that we get a blocker that is our visual key, and it doesn't matter whether it's a back, whether it's an offensive lineman, a tight end, whether I'm a defensive lineman, a linebacker, a secondary guy, if my visual read gives me any kind of a block that goes down inside towards the ball, okay, the next threat, and it doesn't matter whether it's from the same level or from the second level, we're going to do what we call a spill technique, where we're going to squeeze, and as that level comes, Coach, why don't you just come forward, we're going to come and wrong arm it and get underneath the trap blocker or a load block from the backfield. So we are going to spill all inside release blocks. Any other questions?
Stand by now, because coming up we'll have more.
So deal predominantly with pass rush techniques and the ability to try to get to the quarterback.
Okay, simply put, and we'll watch Butch Davis
All right.
at work again.
Okay. Come here, Todd, and you guys just for a second. All right, here's what we're going to do. Tony, just stand across from Todd. And Melvin, why don't you stand? What's your name now?
Paul.
Paul, come here, Paul. Why don't you stand? No, Melvin, you get on this side. Okay, guys, as an introduction to what we're talking about as far as like rushing the passer, I think this is probably the most undercoached and probably the least understood aspect of coaching defensive linemen. There's an awful lot of guys I find over the last 6 to 8 years that a high percentage of the questions, most everybody feels real comfortable about coaching defensive linemen to play the run. How do you stop drive blocks and reach blocks and all those kinds of things? How do you play double teams and traps? You know, but a lot of people are just now getting into, because so many of the schools on high school levels, on college levels, obviously in the National Football League, the offenses have gone to the run and shoot, the one back, the types of offense where they may throw the ball between 20 and maybe 40 times a ball game. So a premium has come for guys that can rush the quarterback. Having constant great pressure on a quarterback is the number one best way to play pass defense. You cannot cover any wide receiver for any amount of time if there's not coverage, if there's not pressure on the quarterback. If you just solely allow the quarterback to stand back there and hold the ball, somebody's going to get open before it's over with. Somebody will run and run through zones, and guys will lose guys, whether you're playing man, whether you're playing zone. So we teach all of our defensive linemen that they've got to do one thing. They have got to react to the set of the offensive lineman and determine immediately. That's why that we are an aggressive, read on the run type of a defense. We are not a two-point parallel stance defense that sits there and catches and then is late reacting to a pass set by an offensive lineman. In the last segment, we showed you the difference between analyzing, is it a zone block by the offensive lineman or is it a set? Is it a quick set? Todd, give everybody here just a quick example of what we're talking about by a quick set by an offensive lineman. As a defensive lineman, I'm down. I don't know whether it's run or pass right now. I might take a look, and if his hand's a little bit light, I might ascertain that it might be pass, but it could easily be a pull and it could be a trap. But I've got to ascertain, is it run or pass? When I say, hut, right now, it's no longer a running play. So I don't want to do anything that pertains to the run. I don't want to butt the guy up, and I don't want to get into a lock and pull situation, and I'm not trying to hit my head in the V of this guy's neck. I ascertained that it was a set, that it was pass. As my foot came forward and he came up, right now, from that point on, it is nothing but pass rush. I've got to do whatever I can to get from here to get to the quarterback, okay? The things that we're going to talk about later on when we talk about pass rush techniques, every technique, whether it has to do with speed, whether it has to do with finesse, or whether it has to do with power, all of them have one goal in mind. And it is that they have got to turn the offensive lineman's shoulders. Whatever you do, you have got to make that offensive lineman open his shoulders up to give you that rush lane to a quarterback, okay? And there are countless numbers of pass rush techniques. There are, like I said, there may be as many as 25 or 30 different types of techniques that players in the National Football League use. There's 20 techniques on a college level. I'm going to tell you, my philosophy is this. Find about 2 or 3 that you can do real well and master those before you ever attempt to do this large repertoire of pass rush techniques. I came into the league, in the National Football League, 4 years ago and had the great pleasure, for 1 week, I had Randy White, but for the first season I had Ed Jones. And Ed Jones had been in the Pro Bowl, he'd won several Super Bowls, and I asked Ed, I said, Ed, how many pass rush techniques can you do really, really well? His answer was 1. He says, I can do 1 that I can beat anybody in this league with. I said, well, how many others can you do? He says, maybe 1 other, And that was a guy who had been in the league for 15 years, who had played on Super Bowls and stuff. He knew that he could perfect 1 technique, and he could make that 1 technique work. In addition to learning techniques, the next most important thing in learning a technique is learning the complementary counter to that technique when the offensive lineman takes it away. Okay? So, like I said, the very first thing is to get guys' shoulders turned. And everything that we'll be talking about over the next hour will be different types of ways to get the offensive lineman's shoulders turned, and in addition to getting their shoulders turned, to get their hands off of me, okay? So that I have got a freer run to get to the quarterback, okay? First off, let's start off over here with one little simple drill, and I need that football again. There you go. Thank you. Let's go over here, guys. The drill that I've got set up here is just a basic fundamental drill, and we call it a cone drill. And the purpose of the drill is twofold. One, it gives them the idea of the ability to get off on the ball, the ability to run and lean in non-parallel lines, and the ability to burst and close on a potential quarterback. Now, the way this thing is set up, you can use cones, you can use T-shirts, you can do whatever you want to do, but basically what I'm going to ask these guys to do is to line up as if their inside shoulder was on the outside shoulder of an offensive lineman. Okay, and just stand up, Tony. The second cone back here represents basically 4 yards from the first cone, and that is what we call the tackle set point or the guard set point. Okay, that's generally the area where an on-rushing defensive lineman will probably engage the defensive lineman. That's the first point. It's the tackle. It's the point in which the offensive linemen are going to set and drop back to engage the defensive lineman. The third cone is representative of a quarterback that has taken a 7-step drop. Okay, he is 7 steps from, he's 5 steps from here, and he's 7 yards deep. Okay, the point of this whole thing is I'm going to ask Tony and these guys to move on the ball, to run the deal, and to burst and come underneath the quarterback. Okay, and then I'll tell you basically what we're trying to do. All right, sit, lean, good. That's it, Tony. Nice job. Good close. Lean. There you go. Sprint and burst. Get up. There you go. Nice job. Good. All right. Butt up higher. Butt up higher. Good. Sprint and lean. Okay, now walk on back. Now, that was just a generic generalization to show you one thing and to make a point. I timed all the defensive linemen over the last 10 or 12 years in this drill. Okay? I've timed them on this side and I've timed them on the other side with no contact. There isn't anybody blocking them. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. And Tony has been one of the better times that I've ever had. Okay? He can generally, from snap to running through the quarterback, he can run that drill in about, sometimes in about 1.1 to 1.2 to 1.3 seconds. Okay? Tony, tell everybody, most five-step quarterbacks, when the ball's delivered, how long is it when they throw the ball? Yeah, about somewhere around 2.4, 2.5 to 2.6. Okay? So if he can run this in, let's say, 1.5, and the quarterback's going to throw it in 2.5, it gives you an analogy. How much time do you have to defeat the blocker on your pass rush technique? 1 second. And believe me, guys, that's not very long. You'd almost say, and everybody's coaching, everybody knows, they say, golly, 1 second, surely I can block this guy for 1 second and prevent a sack. But that's if the ball's thrown on rhythm. If a quarterback drops back 5 steps, plants and throws, you got 2.5 to 2.8 seconds, and he can't run it unobstructedly in 1.4, 1.5. So the point of the whole matter is it encourages these guys to understand one important thing. You cannot waste time at the line of scrimmage. One of the big cardinal sins, and we'll get into some of the techniques and stuff, but one of the big cardinal sins of defensive linemen, particularly young, is messing around with the blocker. Come over here, Todd, for an example. They want to rush a quarterback, and you'll see guys dancing around at the line of scrimmage trying to get this guy off balance, jump inside, so that I can beat him. If I've only got 1 second to beat him, and I did this about 3 or 4 times, by the time I did beat him, the ball would be gone and I'd be 12 yards from the quarterback. I'd have no chance. Okay? So all I'm trying to do is make a point by running this drill to emphasize how quick. Also, you can see, guys, their ability to lean and turn the corner, whether it's beating an offensive lineman, whether it's beating a guard or a tackle. Let's do it one more time, Tony, and this time really try to turn that corner and try to lean, guys. All right, here we go. Boom. Lean. There you go. Good, good. Butt up in the air. That's it. Good dip. That's it. Get around that corner. That's it. Nice. That's it. Here we go. Okay. Come on back, guys. Just walk back. To start fundamentally teaching pass rush, okay, the one thing that you got to do is I think that you have to get guys in a different stance. Okay, Tony demonstrates here a run stance. Basically what we're talking about in a run stance, if you remember from the first segment, was Tony's feet are as wide as his shoulders. Okay, his tail's still up high, his hands hanging free. Now relax, Tony. Now then, it's second down and long. It's third down and long. We know it's pass, okay? And now we're going to put this individual in a situation where all he's got to do is when that ball moves, he's got to strike like a cobra. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tighten his stance up. We're going to get him more in a track stance. We're going to get his tail slightly higher. He's going to have a lot more weight on his hand so that now the only thing he can do is explode forward. Okay? Relax and stand up. Okay? Now, everybody get down as your turn comes and really tighten those feet up. Now, instead of it being heel-toe stagger, feet slightly wider than your shoulders, now it's going to be kicked back. It's going to be almost about 6 inches to 12 inches, right foot back, and it would not be a whole lot different, guys, if you saw great sprinters in high school and college, Carl Lewis, guys that get down and they get up and they get that butt up in the air. It would not look too much different than that. There's about 6 or 8 guys in the league, Charles Mann and some of those guys, that look exactly like they're going to run the first leg of a 440 relay. All right, Todd, let's give them a good demonstration of a pass rush stance. A little wider with the right foot, just slightly. There you go. Butt up a little bit higher. Okay, while everybody's eyes are peeked inside and you're seeing the ball, and just get a great explosion. Hey! Good. There you go. All right, here we go, Melvin. Good sprinter stance. Butt up high. That's good. Eyes inside, seeing the ball. Peeking inside. Sit. Hey! That's it. Good. Nice. All right, here we go. Feet slightly tightened up just a little bit. Butt up, good high in the air. Sit. Hey! Good. Real good. Real good. Okay, now then. Here's a drill to emphasize what I talked about initially. Okay? Let's just do it. We'll do it right here. Todd, why don't you come across from Tony? I think a real good way to start teaching guys pass rush is teach them for the defensive guy to turn the offensive guy's shoulders with no contact. Okay? Tony's not going to touch Todd at all. They're going to have no contact. Todd's going to be down in a three-point stance. He's going to have his hand on the ground. And all I'm going to tell Tony to do is I want him to do what we call a speed rush, a speed burst off the ball and get up the field and just turn the corner on him with no contact. Don't touch him. Nobody's going to touch either guy. Okay? Here's the ball. We're going to go on first sound right here. All right? Go ahead and open to him. Let's walk back, Tony. You guys get ready. You're fixing to do the same thing. Okay? Go ahead and sit out and try to open, but turn your shoulders. Okay? All right, here we go. All right. Great speed. Butts up in the air. Sit. Good. Right there. Okay. Here's a great visual picture right there because Tony didn't master any technique. He didn't have to know how to swim. He didn't have to know how to rip. He didn't have to know how to headbutt and do an arm over. He didn't have to know anything except when that ball moved, jump, get off the ball, and beat the guy up the field. Okay? Walk back up here. Okay? The minute that Tony, he got this guy's shoulders turned. Tighten up just a little bit. He got this guy's shoulders turned with great explosion up the field, and then as he got here, he dipped his shoulder and he leaned just like he did in the cone drill. Learning to do the drills as you put things together, little pieces to make little pieces. Okay? All right. Now then, Tony, let's do it again. Okay? Now, as you teach pass rush, there's two things that will help Tony turn this guy's shoulders. Okay? One of them is speed. You just saw it. Tony beat Todd off the ball real quick. The other one is sometimes he can do it by alignment. Okay? Instead of lining up tight to this guy and outrunning him, he can line up a little wider, and now for Todd to get out there to block a little bit, come in here just a little bit, come in. To get out there to block a little bit wider pass rusher, Todd, what do you got to do? He's got to open and come to the guy, which is going to open his shoulders. So Tony can get this guy's shoulders turned with two things, speed and alignment. Okay? Let's do it one more time. Okay? Here we go. Good. Right there. Nice, Tony. Very good. And you can see, guys, if you're coaching defensive ends, if you're coaching defensive tackles, whatever the position is that you're coaching, the starting point, when a guy gets a chance to have a free rush at the quarterback, the starting point has got to be with a speed rush. I think that's the beginning place because it doesn't require any master of any type of a technique. All right, Melvin, why don't you guys come up here, and we'll simulate you two guys as defensive tackles and an offensive guard. Turn around, you'll be an offensive guard. Melvin's going to be a defensive tackle. He's not as wide, okay, as a defensive end that could be a good outside speed rusher, but he's still going to have the tip of his inside shoulder on the outside shoulder of the offensive guard, and the guard is not going to have to get out and move as much, but his upfield speed is going to try to get this guy's shoulders turned, okay? So Melvin, I'm moving on the ball. We'd like to see you just explode. Butt up good and high. All right, here we go. Hey, boom, right there. You see how just by moving up the field, we got the offensive lineman to open and turn his shoulders, okay? He got him to open and turn his shoulders. Now then, that's one drill. Now then, the second most important drill that I think in progressive teaching is what we call a close down drill, okay? And I'm going to let you demonstrate this. I tell you what, Todd, come here just a second. I want you to jump out. Todd, I'm going to let you. I want you to get in a preset situation with your hands like this, and I want you to backpedal out. Okay, Melvin, I want you to be in a three-point pass rush stance, and on his movement, when he starts backing out, I want you to close the distance on him and take both hands and touch his shoulders. When he touches your shoulders, the drill's done. Okay? All right, here we go. When I say go, you go. Okay, good. You see what it does? Okay? It teaches guys exploding off the ball, learning to run. Now really bail out. Now I'm going to give you a 2-yard advantage. Okay? Now you're 2 yards ahead of him. Okay? Same thing. Run, run, run. Touch. There you go. Great. Come on back. Tony, come in here now. Now I'm going to give you a 3-yard advantage, Todd. Okay? Back up just a little bit. Okay? And really bail out of there and backpedal, and let's see how quick Tony can close you. Boom. Okay. Now, guys, let me show you, let me explain to you what we just tried to get accomplished right here. The name of this drill is close down. You cannot effectively rush an offensive lineman until you get in a situation that you can get close enough to execute any kind of a move, whether it's a power move and you're going to do something by breaking their hands down, whether you're going to do something in the form of a foot fake or some kind of a spin move. You've got to close them down. Here's the guidelines. Tony started here, okay, and that time I gave Todd a 3-yard head start, and Tony still caught him inside of the depth of that quarterback at 7 yards, okay? If you put this guy at 2 yards, real good pass rushers will always catch the offensive lineman before 5 yards. Defensive linemen going forward should run 5 yards about the same speed that this guy backs up 3 yards. Let's try it again. Let's see how quick Tony can catch you here, Todd. Boom. Okay? Guys, the visual image of this whole thing is a lot like a rattlesnake or like a cobra. You want great explosion, and you want to get in a situation where you can get your hands on them and get in a position to execute that move. Okay? Whatever that particular move might happen to be. Okay, let's pair up. And Tony, you and Todd get together, and Melvin, you two guys get together, and let's show them some of our hands drills, okay? And we've talked about the stance, okay? We've already showed you a little bit about getting off on the ball, how you should put your feet, the explosion that's required, okay? We've talked about the balance and the ability to lean and turn corners. But there's going to be times, and it's inevitable, okay? It's inevitable that you're going to find yourself in situations where an offensive lineman has his hands on you, okay? I want you guys to flip it. Yeah, this is good. He may have 2 hands on you. He may just have 1. It may be on the inside. It may be on the outside. He may have a hand on the hip and one up there. There's going to be all different kind of scenarios, and we spend, and then guys, let me tell you this. This is a great way. You find yourself in practice, and guys are tired. They're hot. They're sweaty. You've just gotten through having tackling drill. You've just worked on pursuit. You've done a lot of things where guys are tired. You want to give them a little bit of a break, and you want to give them a little bit of a blow, but you don't want to stop practice and let everybody go sit down under a shade tree. This is a great way to work on a small area of the game that's really important where everybody gets a chance to rest a little bit. And we do what we call hands drills, okay? For an example, I'll take Todd as an offensive lineman, and I'm going to put him here. He's got his head back like a good offensive lineman, his tail sunk down, and I'm going to tell Tony, okay, Tony, do a double hand slap, okay? Go. Boom, that's it, okay? Double hand slap. He's getting Todd's hands off of him. Do it again. There you go. All right, here we go. Put your hands right in the middle of Melvin. All right, go. Good. One more time. Go. One more time. Go. Real good, okay? Now then, Tony, this time I want you to do 3 of them in a row. Todd, you put them in there as fast as you can. Go. 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 There you go. Good. And guys, here's something that I cannot say enough about. you have got to, when it's your turn to be the service guy, working the other side of it, that's how you make each other better, is when one guy will help the other guy and let him service. All right? Melvin, here, let's do double hand slap again with you two guys. Go. Okay? Not bad. Not too bad. Okay? Now then, Tony, let's do it this way to where, now then, Todd, what I want you to do is I want you to punch, and Tony is going to do a club. And he's going to punch here, and he punches here, and you don't know which hand he's going to do. And do them about 3/4 speed and just try to get a punch on Tony. Go. Let him go. 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 Perfect. Guys, great example because you don't know how that offensive lineman, Tony's going to do, and all good defensive linemen are going to get a good study on the guy that they play across from, and is he a two-handed puncher? Does he punch with his outside hand? Does he punch with the inside hand? You know, how does he try to do that and work in these drills? Let's do the same thing over here, okay? When I say go, you punch, and then Melvin's going to knock your hand down with a cross club. Go, 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 go. Okay, whoa, right there, okay? And obviously, the quicker that the guy punches, the faster that the guy can use to do his hands, okay? What happens now, Todd, come on in here, and put your hands on him and get him on the inside. And let's say that Tony made a bad read. He thought it was run, and it was pass. And he had his hands inside, and he was starting to bring his hands inside, and you realized at the last minute that it was a pass. Now he's going to break his hands off from inside, okay? All right, here we go. Go. Perfect. One more time. Go. Perfect. One more time. Go. Good. Nice job. Okay? Here we go. Hands are on the outside. Ready? Go. Perfect. There you go. 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 Good. One more time. Do it one more time. Go. Okay. You notice this is all building up to, okay, all we're doing now is trying to perfect the ability to get the offensive lineman's hands off of you. What's the object now? What's the object of pass rush, Tony? What's the object? Get their hands off, but the object of pass rush is to do what? Turn their shoulders, okay? Well, I can't turn his shoulders if he's got me here. I've got to get his hands broken down one way or another, double hand slap, okay? A cross club. I've got to do something to get free so that now I can execute a technique or a move, a rip, or something that will allow me to turn those shoulders, okay? So now, Tony, here's another great hands drill, okay? When you find guys that are locked up together, okay, like Todd's got his hands inside, now then, Tony, we're going to do the elbow snap, and we're going to tie in an arm over. You see, what does this look like? This looks like from the first segment, our pre-lockup. Bam, they hit nose to nose. They got separation. Now Tony realizes, uh-oh, it's pass. It wasn't run. Now, and the offensive lineman's got his hands on me. Tony, let's do it. Do the elbow. Break it down with the elbow, but don't do the arm over yet. All right, here we go. Go. Boom. All right, good. One more time. Go. Good. One more time. Go. Okay, do you see what he was doing? Okay. Tony found himself in this situation. He had cloth on the outside, and he was taking his elbow and snapping it down. And what that did was that reduced his blocking surface. And by snapping the elbow, it took this shoulder, this hand, off of him. But more importantly, Todd, what did I just do to you? It turned his shoulders, okay? It got somehow, some way to rush the passer, you got to turn their shoulders, okay? So now, Tony, let's tie it in with snapping the elbow down and doing an arm over. Hey! Boom, there you go, okay? Melvin, let's do it with you. This time, Melvin, don't do the arm over, just snap his elbows down. Go. Perfect. That's it. Good. Go. That's good. One more time. Go. That's good. One more time. Go. Okay, now, this time, now snap the elbow down. Get a good flat back, head back, right there. And now snap his elbow down and then do an arm over. Go. Boom. There you go. It gets their shoulders turned. It allows them to do that. Okay? Now then, we've done double hand slaps. We've done cross clubs. Okay? Now then, let's do this, Tony. Let's do the same thing with a pre-lock up, okay? Let's do the same, relax, okay? Same thing with a pre-lock up right here, okay? You found yourself, you made a misread, you thought it was run, but it's pass, and you're in this situation right here, okay? And now then, Tony's going to do the same thing. He's going to pull with the outside arm right there, okay? And now he's going to go with an arm over just as fast as he can. He's not even going to snap the outside elbow. Go! Boom. Real good. Here we go. Here we go, Melvin. Here we go. Go! Good. Burst. You got to burst. Guys, unwritten rule. Never, if you don't ever remember anything else, when you're even to the blocker, when you're even with the blocker, it's the most critical time in rushing the passer is when you're even, because if you're even and you're not leaving him, he'll catch back up. He'll take that hand and he'll catch that hip right there and he'll catch back up, and first thing you know, he's back in front of you. When you're even, you have got to make a great conscious effort. When you're even and you beat him with a move, you've got to step behind him, okay, and get him on your hip. You've got to step behind the guy, okay? All right, now then. All right, Tony, let's do this, okay? I'll tell you what, let's do that one with you, Melvin. So everybody can see it one time with tackles, all right? Go! Good, real good, Melvin. That's a nice job, real good job, okay? All right, now then, let's do this, Tony, and Todd, let's do it from a preset situation where you're off the ball. Tony, you're in a three-point stance, okay? You're going to be in a three-point stance. And now, Todd, what I want you to do is set, and I want you to punch Tony's outside shoulder, okay? And Tony, you're going to come off, and I want you to do a club and an arm over, okay? All right, here we go. There you go, okay? All the time that Tony's doing this, okay, all the time that he's starting up the field with his explosion, he's looking at that arm. He knows that it's coming, okay, and he knows he's got to try to club it with the inside arm and step over with the outside, okay? Bring his arm over the top. Melvin, here we go. Good. Not too bad. Not too bad. Melvin, lean to the quarterback. Lean to the quarterback. Let's do it again, Tony. Let's do it again. All right? Set. Good. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Here we go. Set. Good. Lean in. Lean, 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 lean. Okay? Come on back. Come on back. Okay? Now, guys, this is where I think a lot of people lose the idea of how to coach pass rush, because it's easy to coach guys to do speed rushes. And it's easy to maybe teach guys how to break a guy's hands down and to run around, okay? But the real important part of coaching pass rush technique comes from when you're losing. When the offensive lineman has got you stalemated, okay? He's got you in a situation that you cannot execute the move that you wanted to try to execute. For an example, let's say that I had taught Tony to come off and grab and to shoot what everybody teaches a rip technique, where they're trying to drive the inside shoulder and the arm right through the thigh pad and through the hip area, up underneath the shoulder and stepping through and getting in this situation where his shoulders are turned so that I can go on to the quarterback. It's an easy technique to teach, and probably everybody in the country teaches a rip, okay? But very few people teach what to do if you start a rip, okay? If you start a rip, hang on just a second, and the guy grabs your arm. He's got your arm, okay? He's got you, and you can't get away from him. Umpire may not even call holding. He's got you there, okay? Or he's grabbed you, and he's got a hold of your jersey, and you're trying to rip right here, and you can't get through, okay? You hit too much in the middle, and you can't get through. What I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to show you the counter moves that complement the rip technique, okay? Tony, let's do the one where you're going to pop his elbow and step through, okay? Yeah, go ahead and sink the rip in a pre-lock up, okay? I've already taken the stance away, I've taken the get off away, and Tony's already sunk the rip. What he's going to do is is he's going to take this guy's hand and he's going to lift it off of his shoulder and he's going to step up underneath him and step through. Okay? Let's come back to a pre-lockup. Here we go. Okay? Hand on the outside shoulder. The rip's already in there. Go! He's running, and all he did was the offensive lineman's hand was up high. And all he did was take his free hand and raise up underneath the elbow and raise it up, and he just stepped through. Okay? Let's try it, Melvin. Here we go. Okay? Put this hand, the offensive lineman's there. All right, here we go. Go! Good. There you go. That's the right idea. One more time, Melvin. Good. Let's try it again. Okay? Hands right there. Go. Raise up and step through. Good. Okay? Now then, we got the same move. Tony likes to do a rip. Okay? And now he's got a rip on the offensive lineman, but this time the offensive lineman doesn't have him up high. Now he's got him down low. Okay? Now then, what do you notice right here? Now all of a sudden the offensive lineman's hands are low and his shoulder's low. He can't reach underneath there and step through, okay? So now he's going to take and he's going to convert from a rip to an arm over. He's going to reach and grab the back of his shoulder and he's going to pull his arm out and go to an arm over. He went from a critical position where he had no chance of winning. He wasn't going to win. He had the rip in there and the guy had him stopped. So he's going to pull it out and all in the same motion convert to an arm over. All right, Todd, lock up. All right, go. Boom, right there. He pulled the inside rip out, hung on with the outside arm, and converted to an arm over. All right, here we go. Do it again. All right, here we go. Set. There you go. Not too bad. Come on back, Mel. That's all right. That's all right. Here we go. Sink the rip up in there. Okay? Now, hands got to be down low. His hands are down low. He's got you just a little bit lower. You got him, and you're going to pull the rip out and go to an arm over. Go! Pull it up. There you go. Good. One thing right here, Melvin, come on back. That I use this for an analogy whenever I'm teaching guys, and it kind of goes with that swim or arm over move. A lot of times you'll see guys, the important things in doing an arm over move is that you want to reduce your blocking surface so that if this guy punches with his backside hand, he doesn't have anything to hit. He misses. You want to reduce your blocking surface, but the most important thing, if you notice that time that Melvin did that, when he converted from his arm over, he pulled this down, which was good to turn the shoulders. He brought the arm out, but he brought it over in a great big gigantic circle, okay? And the analogy that I use is if you put two swimmers in the water and they were going to swim a 25-meter freestyle swimming event, the guy that got in the water and swam in big, wide circles would never beat the guy that went in tight circles, okay? You notice when Tony did his arm over, when he snatched it, he brought the arm as tight over the top of the shoulder pads as he possibly could. Tony looked a lot like this. As he pulled the shoulders down, his arm shot right over to the back, because sometimes you may have to grab the back of somebody's shoulder pads to pull yourself through. You don't want to get in a situation where you're doing it like this, big lazy arm over like that. You want it to be nice and tight. Let's do it again, Tony. Okay? Convert from a rip to an arm over. Okay? Go! There you go. Not bad. Not too bad. Here we go, Melvin. Again, now focus on trying to be tight, Melvin, as you step through. Say, there you go. Lot better. Lot better. Lot better. Okay? Now then, Tony, again, we've showed you from a rip. We've showed you how to convert the rip and stepping through based on the arm being up here. We've showed you how to convert from a rip to an arm over when the hands are down low. Now then, what are you going to do if you were doing a rip move, okay, and now all of a sudden, the offensive lineman, as we walk, the offensive lineman gets way outside of you and gets you upfield. And he's starting to wash you away from the point of the quarterback. Tony's objective from that point right there is to drive to this guy, okay? If he keeps fighting outside, Tony, y'all just keep walking. The offensive lineman just keeps widening him, and he becomes no factor. Come on back, okay? Come on back. Okay? And again, this point, when we ran that first cone drill, we talked about between 3.5 and 4 yards is the tackle set point. That's also the landmark that the defensive lineman has to know, is my initial move going to get me to the quarterback or not? It's kind of the mental set point of you got to make a decision. Do I stay with the move that I had in mind, or do I need to counter? Okay? So here we were in that same situation. Tony tried the rip. He got upfield, and he got to this point, and the move wasn't working. Now what I teach, okay, is for Tony, and this ties in with that athletic agility portion of the very first segment, Tony's going to do a spin move. He's going to take at this point right here, and he's going to pull, okay? He's going to take this point, and he's going to take and reach inside right here and hump the guy across, he's going to go inside, under the arm with the rip right there, and he's going to spin, Tony, and pin him with your backside arm, okay? Just walk through it and spin. Backside, perfect, right there. Go again, okay? One more time, all right? Here he's upfield, and you're going to see, and I'll say stop, Tony, when you make contact with your backside arm. Go. Stop, right there. You see how he reaches and feels for this guy to pin him with this arm so that the offensive lineman can't recover and grab him and pull himself back in front. All right, so let's start it with a pre-lockup, okay? And Tony, take him up the field about 2 steps and then spin. Go. Boom. And then burst right there. All right, here we go, Melvin. Again, you're in a rip, you're headed up the field, and he's widening you out. Go. Now spin. There you go. Good. Got to have good balance, got to have good agility. You got to use that hand to pin that guy back inside right there. Okay? We've gone, now guys, keep in mind, okay, all we've done is work on one technique, the rip. We've converted the rip to an arm over. We've converted the rip by stepping through. We've converted the rip by spinning. If you don't like defensive linemen rushing and spinning and losing sight of the quarterback, the next move off of the rip that we teach is what we call a hump. Okay? This is a move that was made famous by Howie Long. And again, what Tony's going to do is he's going to be in that rip. He's down underneath. They're going up the field. They're walking a stop. Okay? Tony's going to take his inside arm and he's going to bring it up underneath Todd, and he's going to hump him across and go like that. He's going to use his body momentum to throw him past the tackle set point. All right, Todd, let's try it again. All right, here we go. Set. Boom. There you go. Good. Good. Reach underneath them, Melvin, and try to hump the guy by. Go. Pull it out. There you go. Good. You're using strength. One of the things, guys, that you have to do, you find yourself in this situation right here, okay? You're not trying to wipe the guy across. You'll never be strong enough to do it like this, okay? It's a lift deal where you're here and you're trying to drive up like that. You're bringing them up and throwing them off balance. Again, trying to tilt and turn those shoulders. Tony, do it one more time, about 3/4 speed. Here we go. Go. There you go. There you go. Melvin, one more time. Try to hump the guy across. Go. Good. Not bad. Guys, I'll tell you what, we're going to take like a 1-minute break and let these guys get some water because we're going to do something else. Are there some questions before we go too much further while these guys get a small drink of water? Somebody, why don't you guys get you a swallow? I think there's water right over there. Let me take some questions while they get a drink and then we'll come right back. Anybody in the crowd got any questions here? Huh? Okay.
If you use a right-handed stance, what do you move?
If I'm playing on the right, probably not. The question was from the audience that if you're playing on the right-hand side of the football and you're playing in a right-handed stance, like I said earlier, we always put inside foot back, inside hand down, and we make right-side guys play with left-handed stances. In a pass rush situation, you don't lose as much as you do in playing the run. In playing the run, it puts you 2 steps behind in any kind of play, trap plays, pulls, counter plays where the offensive lineman and the action's going away from you. It makes you take 2 extra steps as opposed to being able to step forward and swing that foot. You can do in 1 step what it takes 2 to do. In rushing the passer on that side, a lot of times it fits more naturally because we crowd the ball. It fits more naturally by our first explosion step, gaining ground on the line of scrimmage. Now, the very next move is going to always clear my hips, whether I'm going to go for an arm over, whether I'm going to go with a club and a rip. It automatically gets my hips clear as opposed to stepping here. Now, for me to get outside of that guy, I got to step here and here. It makes me take 2 extra steps. So, fundamentally, it's really an advantage if you can get right-handed stance guys playing on the left side, left-handed stance guys playing on the left side. And let me say this, the immediate reaction from everybody is to say, well, I don't have any left-handed football players. True story, I have never coached a left-handed football player. The key is that I have always tried to take the best athlete, whoever the best athletes were, tackles and ends, and make them make that conversion. Make them learn. And the way we did it was we started them out in 4-point stances, okay, and then gradually took one hand away from them so that they learned their balance. And you'd be surprised, the Russell Marylands that we've had, Tony Hill had never done it before. We've had lots of guys that have never been left-handed, and all of a sudden, within 3 to 4 practices, they can't get in a right-handed stance because it becomes so natural, okay? Any other questions? Anything else at all from anybody?
What do you tell your defensive lineman to do after the ball's passed?
After the ball is passed. Great question. Great question. Let me have a demonstrator and I'll show you exactly. Come here, Todd, you and Tony, just for a second. Walk up there, Tony, as if you had just beaten Todd with a pass rush move, which I know never happens in practice. Come on up, Tony. And let's say that Tony has Todd just turned just a little bit as if you've just gotten beat. Now stop, okay? We're telling all of our defensive linemen as they rush the quarterback, the most important thing is to drive through the quarterback. Don't drive with anticipation of trying to jump up, okay? Because the quarterback will pump, pull down, scramble, break containment, move around in the pocket. We want to give them an aiming point. They are driving at what we say the upfield number of the quarterback. Quarterback's got number 19 on his jersey. They're driving for the 1, okay? Figuring if they go always for the upfield number and the quarterback steps up, they can always squeeze and come back and make the play. If they go for his inside number and this guy steps outside, they got a chance to lose a Randall Cunningham or a quick guy to the outside. The next most important thing, Tony's going to come closing, and the only time that we're going to take and raise our hands is, as Tony walks, is when the quarterback's elbow comes off the ball. The minute his elbow comes off the ball, and back up, Tony, just a little bit. Let's say that it took him a long time to beat him, and he wasn't quite close enough. And this guy was going to throw an out route, and he took the elbow off, then Tony would jump and try to be in the throwing lane. The quarterback is never going to take the elbow off of the ball, and then he'd have to reload, okay? So as the quarterback's here and he does that, then our defensive linemen are going to try to get up. Any other question? That's a great question. Anybody else? Okay, guys, come on out and we'll finish. We'll try to finish on this. Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do it from right here. Okay. Okay, Todd, why don't you get right there with Tony, and Melvin, you guys get on that side. Okay. Now then, we've talked about a rip move. We've talked about an arm over move. We've talked about speed moves. Most of the things that we've done so far have had to do with what we would call finesse type of moves. Okay, they're things that require foot agility, speed, balance, coordination, flexibility. But a lot of times, guys, the best approach to rushing a passer sometimes comes from raw, brute strength, okay? From the ability to just dominate the guy that you're playing across from. One of the things that offensive linemen, when Todd, and we'll go back again, and Todd, if you'll just give us a quick short set, okay? He sets up, hit, boom. He's right there. A lot of times an offensive lineman will make the bad mistake of getting his weight on his heels. He sets, but he gets his weight on his heels. He made his set when he came up, and as he came up, he was a little bit top-heavy, and he tended to topple back. A lot of times, guys, the best approach is what we call a power rush, and you've probably heard it from time to time. You've heard it called a bull rush, or a lot of guys use different terminology, but it is one of the most simple and most direct approaches to get to the quarterback. Todd, come on over just a little bit. In that I'm going to come off, and as Todd makes his set, if I hit him just right, go ahead and set, Todd. If I come off and I strike him with my head underneath in his shoulder, and I hit him and drive up right here, and I get my hands inside, I can raise him up, and I can get his momentum. I can get him out of this great base, and I can get his feet tight and him toppling over, and I can take him right into the lap of the quarterback. Tony, this time you guys get in a pre-lockup situation, okay? And then Tony, get your hands inside of him right there, and Todd, just let him about 3/4 speed. He's going to take you going back, all right? Set, drive. Now let's go again, Tony. Full speed, chopping, buzzing your feet like you're going to power rush him, and you got to squeeze the pocket. Here we go. Right there. Good, good. You notice, okay, the great leg drive again. Tony driving, using the power base, using his strength in his legs, in his hip, and his lower back, getting his hands inside and driving up and not giving Todd an opportunity to reset his feet and get a good base. Okay? Melvin, try it again with a preset right here. Get your hands underneath them right there. All right. Go. Run them back. Locking it out. There you go. Okay, come on back. All right. Again, hands are important. You got to get the hands inside, and you got to separate them as you're running. It's got to be good, quick feet now and a good base, Melvin. Here we go. Go. Get underneath and drive them, drive them, drive them. There you go. Okay, here we go, Tony. Again, same thing. Here we go. Go! Drive, 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 drive! There you go. Good. Real good job. One more time over here, Melvin. One more time. Go! Drive underneath. Okay? The good thing, guys, and Tony, come in here, we try to teach them certain downs and distances. Some techniques are better than others. Okay? The speed rushes, the finesse rushes, those kinds of things are outstanding when it's a true obvious and everybody in the stadium knows that they're going to throw the ball. You can do those kinds of things. But when they don't know, it's 1st and 10, and it might be run, it might be pass, and you find yourself in a fitted up position, and that guy sets, it's a great time to change him up, to give him that power rush, to just collapse that pocket and take the blocker and run him right into the quarterback. Run him and put the offensive lineman right into the face of the quarterback, where the quarterback now, he not only can he not see his intended receivers, but you're in a position to play whatever kind of scramble. A quarterback, he tries to duck one way, go another way, and Tony's got great vision. He's got his hands in control. If the quarterback tries to scramble, Tony can retrace, and he can still make the sack behind the line of scrimmage. Okay? All right. Now then, the next phase, when you want to start trying to make it just slightly more elaborate, okay, the next phase is to do what we call foot fakes or false reads on the offensive lineman to alter this guy's set. Everything that we've done so far has been entirely direct. It's all been speed one way, it's been rips one way, it's been arm overs one way, and basically we've gotten the same set out of the offensive lineman. Again, Todd, jump out of the way. Tony, if Tony's going to try to rush on me, and he's rushing, and I'm giving him the same set all the time, before long, I'm going to get a pretty good read on him, and I'm not going to let him get these outside rushes on me. I'm going to get in a situation where I'm going to jump out here, and I'm going to cut him off. Okay? So that's where you have to teach the change-up with foot fakes, where a guy on the snap of the ball will give you that hard fake outside, Tony, to get this guy to jump where you can beat the guy underneath. You can tie him in with games that you're running with somebody else or in a one-on-one situation. Or if you beat the guy underneath, he can foot fake him inside and boom, get me to set and jump down inside, which now makes me have to open my shoulders again to try to recover. All right, Todd, from a preset, let's do this one. Tony, let's go foot fake inside, arm over to the outside. Okay, and Todd, you set on him and take him down and don't get beat underneath. So, boom, right there. Nice, real good. Okay, here we go, Melvin. Nice and easy. Melvin, give me a good hard foot fake and don't let him beat you underneath. Sit down on him and try to flatten him out. Here we go. Boom, there you go. Good, good. Let's come back again, Tony. Todd. Okay, this time, Tony, give him a short little burst and a head fake to the outside and beat him underneath. Here we go. So, there you go. Good. The whole thing, okay? And as you watched, there was one thing that was very, very evident that Tony just did in both of those moves that he did. He was always going upfield. You didn't see him foot fake out here and head fake out here. He was going up the field, and it was all fakes, and every one of his steps was gaining ground on the quarterback. Okay, Melvin, here we go. Again, foot fake now, or shake him to the outside and beat him underneath. Okay, here we go. Sit. There you go. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, Tony, this time, Tony, do a foot fake to the inside, get him hard set outside, okay, and do a cross club with an arm over to the outside, okay? Here we go. So, boom, there you go, good. You see what we just tied in? We tied in a foot fake with one of the techniques that we were using earlier that tied in with our hands drill. The cross club, so that when he foot faked down inside and he punched and stopped my inside move, I cross-clubbed with the outside to get that arm off my chest and tied it in with the arm over to the outside. All right, here we go. Same thing, Melvin. Foot fake inside, cross-club and an arm over. Sit. Good. There you go. Not bad, Mel. Not too bad. Not bad. Okay. Now then, Tony, let's do this over there. Linemen together. Okay. The foot fakes, okay, give you a chance to create separation with offensive linemen. If offensive linemen are allowed to keep tight splits right there, there's no rush lanes. It's hard to penetrate rush lanes, okay? So Tony, by foot faking to the outside, go ahead and foot fake outside, will get Todd to slide, get the offensive lineman that will create a better rush lane for Melvin. He's got a chance now to go ahead and rush him. Come on back, okay? This is the foundation that we used to build how we do our two-man pass rush games where guys exchange their rush lanes, okay? For an example, okay, we're going to run a pass rush game right now where the tackle is going to go first and the end is going to go second, okay? So what I want Melvin to do is, Melvin, I want you to do a speed rip. Just come off and I want you to speed rip this gap. Tony, to get him enough room to run his rip, let's take him up the field and shake him to the outside to get him on a different level. Okay? Here we go. On first sound. Boom. Right there. You see how it got them to separate. It got the tackle to get them some width where the three technique could get through there, and the end gets them on different levels. Okay? Let's do it in reverse. Okay? Let's do it in reverse. Where the end's going to start up the field, okay, and he's going to come underneath, all right? Now then the burden is on the tackle right here to get the guard to set down inside. He's going to come up and shake and come down inside to create that rush lane for the defensive end. Okay, here we go, Melvin. There we go. On first sound. Set. Boom, right there, Tony, and then Melvin coming on around. Let's do it one more time. That was a good job, guys. Good job, Tony. Take your time. Here we go. All right, one more time. Okay, here we go. One more time. Set. Good. Very good. Very good. Guys, what you just saw, the part right there with exchanging pass rush lanes, is probably one of the most important parts of rushing the passer, because if you don't change up pass rush lanes, the offensive linemen and the offensive coaches are going to know stereotypically this guy's in that rush lane. And they're going to know how to take him out. They're going to double team him. They're going to put a tight end there. They're going to have a back there. Okay? If they know that this guy is always going to be confined to this rush lane, you're going to open yourselves up to all kinds of traps in pass rush situations. When you exchange those guys and mix that stuff in, you're never really going to know where these guys are going to be. Okay? Let's kind of recap what we talked about. They said one more minute before we go to the question and answer session. The most important things in rushing the quarterback, guys, is a great stance, a sprinter stance. Tony, down with his hands on the ground, his butt up high, and this guy, there is no doubt about it, he is going forward and he's going to the quarterback. Okay, go ahead and stand up. The second most important thing is to get the offensive lineman's hands off of you if he gets them on you by the drills, double hand slaps, cross clubs, those kind of things, to get their hands broken down. The third most important thing is to get the offensive lineman's shoulders turned, okay? The next important part is once you get even to the offensive blocker, you've got to have burst and acceleration to the quarterback, okay? Closing on the quarterback. As you close the quarterback, you've got to keep in mind, my point is the upfield number. That's
so high. There you go. Good. Good. Good.
I'm John Tierlink, defensive line coach now at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm here today to talk to you about the Gilman equipment and the drills we do with Gilman. I've been using the Gilman stuff for 4 decades. We started using the Gilman equipment at Eastern Illinois in the 70s, where we beat Delaware and won the Division II National Championship. Coached at Illinois, the team went to the Rose Bowl in '83. From there we went to the USFL, Chicago Blitz, Arizona Wranglers with George Allen. Led the league in sacks, went to the championship game, Cleveland Browns, where we set a sack record. After that, we coached the Rams, went to the Vikings, had the #1 defense in all of football. Gilman made that tape of us in 1992 doing these similar drills. Went to Detroit, doubled their sack total the first year. Went to Denver, went to 2 Super Bowls. Now we're at Indianapolis. Last year got in the playoffs, improved our defense. We've had great success with these drills and with Gilman equipment. We've also taken these bags and used them on 4 continents. We've coached in North America, Japan, Europe, and in Australia with these bags. So we've got some great drills for you. Obviously the pop-up is the mainstay of our drills. We've been using them since the 70s. It started with a small bag. They used Gilman bag with air or foam filled. We like the air. We developed this and made it taller, I think, in the early 90s. And we like the wheel on the bottom because it simulates an offensive lineman leg whipping or tripping you, and it makes it more mobile, it bounces up faster, and it makes it easier to move it around. Here's our players that are going to be doing the tape for us today.
Chad Brasky, defensive end.
Josh Mallett, defensive end.
Raheem Brock, defensive end.
Robert Mathis, defensive end.
Josh Williams, defensive tackle.
Monte Regga, defensive tackle.
Brandon Hicks, nose guard.
Larry Tripper, nose guard.
Our only 300-pounder.
Dwight Freeney, defensive end.
Brad Scioli, defensive end.
These are our players. As you can see, other than Larry, they're undersized, but we rely on speed and quickness. And all our drills are done, you'll see, relying on speed and quickness and using the Gilman gear to help us get that way. We're going to start with our stance and starts and get-offs, and start with our mat get-offs, which are very instrumental in teaching body lean and leading with your head and your shoulders. The first drill we're going to start with is one of our most important drills, and that comes out of our stance, and it's with the get-off. Okay, Chad's going to demonstrate our 3-point stance. We only have 1 stance. In our attacking defense, everybody is attacking. There's not a run stance, there's not a pass stance, there's 1 stance, and it's an attacking, aggressive 3-point. And after we demonstrate the stance, we're going to do our mat get-offs. Dyron Reynolds here, who helps coach our defensive line, will pull the ball. The players are going to dive out on the mat, simulating coming off, hitting someone, hitting a seam, and like a little kid running downhill, all their weight's forward and they're falling forward. From there, we immediately go to get-offs and hope we get a big carryover. Okay, we'll start with our 3-point stance. You can see Chad's in a stance, at least a heel-toe relationship, maybe more. All his weight's forward. It's an attacking stance. We talk about falling off a cliff. We're not reading nothing. We read as we rush. All of our effort and our weight is going forward. We're going to hit the seams. We're going to get his hat in a crack and be attacking at all times. Okay. All right, Dyron will get up here. We'll go right side, left side. The idea here is he gets off when Dyron pulls the ball, takes 1 big step. We have him far enough away that he's got to take a step bigger than usual, gain ground, and get in the seams. Okay, Dy, on you. That's out, not up. We want 1 step. Next man. 1 long step, gaining ground. That's perfect. Perfect. Out, not up. Gain ground. That's it. Excellent. Get your hat in a crack. Gaining ground all the time. There we go. Gain ground. Big step. Starts with the sprinter stance. Too many steps, no good. 1 step. There you go, Robert. The ball moves. That's it. Too high. Okay. Going back the other way. We got a sprinter stance and the ball moves. 1 big step and go. 1 long step. Make him work, Dyron. That's it. Longer. We line him up, crowding the ball. We have all this ground to cover. There we go. Gain ground. Make him work here now. That's it. Big step. All that weight's forward. There we go. Gain ground. Falling off a cliff. Running downhill. East German training. There we go, Robert. Immediately from the mat get-offs, where we're teaching body lean, leading with our head and shoulders, falling off a cliff, we'll go right here to regular get-offs and hope we get a carryover. We got 4 guys going at a time. They'll go on Dairon's movement.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Get out of there. There we go. Let's get a carryover.
Set. Black 20. Black 20. Hut. Hut.
That's the way to get out.
Set. Black 20. Black 20. Hut. Hut.
There we go. Get out of there. There we go.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Good job. That's the way to gain ground. Good work. We're moving on now. We're going to get into the blood and guts of the stuff we teach, which is pass rush. Now, I hear you college and high school guys say, hey, in our league, we only get 15 passes a game, so pass rush is not important. That's bull. Pass rush is just like that smoke alarm in your house or that loaded 357 in your nightstand. When you need it to go off, it's got to be able to go off. You can't warm it up. You can't get it ready. Now, you'll notice all these next battery of drills are related to one thing, getting the quarterback, okay? And we rush the passer. We always finish with either a tackle or a strip, okay? Now you see the Gilman product, the Velcro ball we've had for about 15 years. Excellent to teach stripping. Here we got a right-handed quarterback with his arm back. You'll see us finish our drills. The guys will come in and strip the ball. Now, for the sake of these drills, instead of getting the ball every time, we're just going to work on getting the arm because we have so much to cover. But in our normal practice sessions, that we at a lot slower pace, we will take and have a manager put the ball in all the time. But we're going to finish with a strip on these arms, simulating getting the ball out. Then later we'll go where we tackle. We're going to right now head to how we start our pass rush drills every day. We line up and we have all our positions do what we call a rip, counter, swim. We're going to pretend we have a rip already in on the man and he's leaning on us, and then we're going to counter by taking it out and go ahead and walk through it and swimming and throwing your hips, turning your numbers, getting out of the way, and then accelerating the quarterback. The offensive man is taught to put his paws on our numbers. We're going to make ourselves small and get away and escape, okay? And all in this drill. We do this drill every day. Okay, Dairon is going to lean into Chad here like a blocker. Okay, on our own. That's the way to counter, get out. All right, next man. Good finish on the quarterback. Get it out. That's the way to turn your numbers. The rip is in. Now we go to swim. Way to get it out. That's the way, Larry. Get it out. We practice it left side. That's it, Dwight. And right. Make sure we finish. It's always one. That's it. All right. Continue. Now we're doing the same drill. It's on this side. Again, we're going to start with our rip, and we're going to counter and take it back out with a swim and make ourselves small and accelerate to the quarterback. We always finish with a strip or a tackle. That's the way to rip. There we go. Next man. That's the way. Get it in, and now counter with a swim. Nice. Good shoulder turn. Good swim. That's the way. Way to throw yourself out. There you go, Raheem. Excellent. That's a good counter for all of our people. Nice move, Dwight. All right, get it in there, Rob. There we go. Rip, and we're countering to a swim. The next thing we do this every Friday. It's called Moves of the Week. As you see, we have the Gilman pop-ups aligned like an offensive line. The guards are up. The tackles are deep. The quarterback's at 7 yards. Now we're going to practice the moves that we use that week to beat the opponent, the ones that we've designed to disarm him. For now, we're going to cover all the moves, and during the week, we'll let the guys pick them out. One thing you'll note in this drill is that the ends will start on either side and demonstrate a move, then we'll come back inside. One nice thing doing this drill, if there's just one man, if you just have one man coaching, with this long stick with the ball attached to the end, the coach can stand way back here, line up tackles, go ahead Monte, and end Raheem, have a side of the line ready to go, and when you pull the ball, obviously the defenders go ahead, and I can see their feet and see their moves. If I was up here with just a football, snapping the ball, I can't see past Monte. So by having the long stick, come on over here, Di, and here, the coach from this position can pull the ball and watch the players move without the dummies or their feet being in the way. All right, we'll start here. Raheem is going to demonstrate what?
Chop hoop.
Chop hoop. He'll come off on the ball. Let's walk through it. Go ahead, on your own. He'll come in, he'll chop the offensive tackle's arms, and then hoop and lean and get to the quarterback. All right, here we go. Dyron will start us with going on cadence. Here we go.
Blue 18. Blue 18. Hut.
There's a chop, hoop, bringing it back up. All right, Brad's going to come up.
Chop spin.
We're going to do a chop spin. He's going to chop, get his hand in there, and then spin around. Finish on the quarterback. All right, here we go. Black 10.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Chop, and then spin. Excellent. Let's go to the far side. We'll see the same drills. Same thing done on the other side. Dwight is up. Go ahead, Dwight. What are you going to do?
Chop.
You're going to start with a chop move by Dwight. Going on the movement of the ball.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Get in there and chop. Excellent. All right. Here comes a chop spin by Josh. Going to chop the outside foot, spin inside. Going on the ball.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Chop and spin inside. Finish on a quarterback. All right. Dwight finishes off with a chop. Just chopping and hooping, turning the corner on the offensive tackle.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Chop and turn the corner. Excellent. Here we go. Chad's going to use a chop spin. It's one of our counters off of a chop move.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
It's a chop and spin. Excellent. And accelerate to the quarterback. We've beaten this man outside. We've threatened the tackle outside. Raheem is now going to demonstrate his favorite move, which is a race up the field. Going to race up the field, stop on his third step, and club the offensive tackle out, finishing on a quarterback. Here we go, getting off on the ball.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
There we go. Excellent. Excellent rush. Raheem now is going to rush. We've beaten the man with an outside chop. Now we're going to start him up the field. We're going to plant our outside foot and club the man outside, beating the offensive tackle to the inside. Okay, Raheem. Race and club.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
There you go. Excellent. Way to accelerate. Now we're going to take it to our tackles. We're going to start with a jab ole, where we get the offensive blocker to think we're going outside with our jab. It's going to make him commit outside. We're going to turn our numbers and come in. We'll go ahead and demonstrate that on this side. Going on movement.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
That's the way to turn your numbers. Good job, Monte. All right, Josh, here we go. Same move. Jab ole.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Jab and ole. Good job. Good job turning your numbers and accelerating. Staying with our tackles and our moves of the week. Chad's going to demonstrate a bite and go. It's just the opposite of the jab ole. We're going to line up outside. We're going to fake inside, make this guy bite, and then we're going to go back out the outside. Okay, him and Brad will demonstrate a bite and go, getting off on the ball.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
There you go. Excellent. Way to bite. Way to make the guy take the fake.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
That's excellent. Way to accelerate. Good job. Continue with our tackles, inside rushes. We love the spin move. We spin coming off the bus. Last year we had 16 sacks or quarterback hits off of a spin. Okay, you're going to like this. We've got two guys working at the same time. You get twice the amount of work done. Dyron's going to pull the ball. We're going to have a direction. Chad, which way are we going?
We're going to go tops right.
Okay, tops right. Both of our tackles will spin to the right. The next group will come up. Both tackles will spin to the left.
Black 10. Hut.
Beautiful. That's the way to go. All right, two more. We're going to go tops left. Both tackles spinning to the left. One inside, one outside.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Beautiful. That's the way to get around. All right, meet at the quarterback.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
That's the way to get around. Good job. Okay, two more. Tops left.
Set. Black 10. Black 10. Hut.
Good work. Continuing with our moves of the week, we're going to go where we slap rip the guard, and suddenly the center has appeared. We now have what we call tight bags. You have two men to beat, okay? Double duty. We got 4 rushers. They have 5 protectors. One guy could get a double. So Chad's first going to beat his man with a slap rip or swim and come back and beat the center with a move, and then continue to the quarterback.
Set. Flag 10. Flag 10.
Slap and then another move. All right, next man up.
Set. Flag 10. Flag 10.
One move and then another. All right, Brandon's going to beat the guard and then have to beat the center to continue to the quarterback.
Set. Flag 10. Flag 10.
One move and then the other. Excellent. A rip.
Set. Flag 10. Flag 10.
Good work. This is one of our mainstays. This goes back to the 70s. It's called our straight line gauntlet. As you can see, we have 4 dummies, a quarterback at the end. We come up back the other way, we'll have the mat and the tackler. What we're going to do here is we're going to start with slap rip, then we're going to come back with jab olay, we're going to come back with a spin. We'll have all 5 of our guys go through and come back and finish on the stripper. We're going to start with our slap rip. Chad will demonstrate. We're going to come up, we're going to slap the opponent on the shoulder and rip through. Continue on to the next bag, change to the other hand, onto the next one, and then finish with a quarterback strip. We always finish with a strip or a tackle. As you know, in college football, pro football, you don't get the tackle or quarterback, so we practice it every day. We run the straight line every Wednesday. We do the straight line every Thursday. All right, slap, rip, one at a time. Excellent. That's the way to work. Good job. Good job. Finish with a strip. That's the way to get that ball out. Good slap. Good high rip. Nice. That's the way to hit the bags. Good work. The next thing we do on our straight line is jab olay. Monty's going to demonstrate it. We're going to jab one way and go the other by turning our shoulders, making ourselves small. Now after we come off the move, we're going to continue. We have a quarterback that's escaping. We're going to dive out on the mat and trip them up. And we finish this drill by tackling or stripping every time. Chad's up, jab olay. That's it. Turn your numbers, take it away. Finish on the quarterback. Good job. Way to lay out on the quarterback. Jab, that's it. Olay, 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 and finish. That's the way to hit it. Jab and olay. That's the way to hit it and finish. Good work. That's the way to olay. Way to get out of there. That's the way, Dwight. And finish on the quarterback. Good job. That's it. Jab olay. And finish. All right, good work. One of our top moves is a spin. We had 18 sacks or quarterback hits on a spin. We're going to now demonstrate on all 4 of the Gilman bags, a pop-up, spinning, and finishing. We're going to finish with a tackle on the quarterback, not one that's escaping, but just a tackle where we finish on his arms. Now, Dwight's one of our top rushers, 13 sacks last year as a rookie. I want Dwight to walk us through over here a spin move where he's going to start one way. Go ahead, Dwight.
Right here, I saw the chop outside. If I chop and get it in, I use his momentum to push me around.
And accelerate the move. So we'll start at that end. We'll get 4 spins and finish with a tackle down here. All right, Chad. Nice. Way to spin. So way to spin. Way to spin and tackle. That's the way to get the quarterback's arms. Full legal hit. That's the way to get around. Look at that ice pick given to his back. Finish. Good job. That's the way to tackle. That's it, Monte. That's the way to spin. That's the way to open your hips and finish. Good job. All right, here we go. That's the way to spin. That's the way to get around, Josh. Finish. Good work. Dwight's going to demonstrate the chop spin. That's the way to get around, way to use your hands. Way to finish. Now finish on a quarterback. Good work. Excellent work. Next thing we're going to go to is 4 square. We run the 4 square every Thursday during the week. Hey, one thing I didn't point out earlier, one thing we love about these bags and the drills that we can do against them, as you see, our guys are in a helmet today. Sometimes they're not. We're not in full pads. We can do these drills, and we do them in the off season. The guys do them on their own. They're excellent conditioners, and you have no chance of injury. The bag is soft. You can hit it, it'll bounce back. You have to pick your feet up, but other than that, there's virtually no way you can be injured doing these drills. And what we like is we don't do any running after practice, because when we do these drills, we get our conditioning during practice. You'll see now we're going to go 4 square. It'll be 4 moves on 4 bags, and we'll finish with a strip on the quarterback. First time through, we're going to go slap, swim. Larry will demonstrate a slap. Then he's going to swim over or an arm over and go on all 4 bags and finish right back here. One thing we like about the 4 square drill is after we work a move on the first one, we come to the second. Larry's now going to swim and come inside. He's got to make a 90-degree cut, a Pythagorean angle on these bags, working on the inside and continuing. This drill is harder than straight line because of the 90-degree cuts. Slap, swim. Slap and swim, 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 and then finish. That's the way to swim, finish. That's the way to move, way to get around, way to finish. Good hips. Good swim. Good swim, good swim. Accelerate now to the bag. Good job. We're going to run all 4 bags using any of the 4 moves, finishing with a strip on the quarterback. And what we emphasize here is running fast. He can swim, he can rip, he can jab olay, he can bite and go. Ends can chop. But we want 4 moves and a full speed run. All right, here we go. That's the way. Good job. Finish. Good work. That's the way. Good job. That's the way to make yourself small. Good rushes. All right, Robert. Way to finish. Good job. All 4 good rushes. One of the key things in our system is getting off on the ball versus run and in pass. In a drill we do every day, lunchtime, after lunch, post-practice, as we call 3-on-1. We have 3 offensive blockers. They're all using the Gilman shields. These guys are as quick as any offensive line that we work against, and we ask for a great effort from them to visualize the kind of blocks we have to defend. We'll start with Raheem playing a strong side end. We have a tight end, a tackle, and a backside guard. And by reading his man, he'll know what the blocks are, and he'll break them down. I've had people tell us this has been the secret to our success in Minnesota, in Detroit, and in Denver, is our 3-on-1 run drills and run reads, which we do every day. Okay, here we go. Raheem's up in a 5. We got a tight end, a tackle, and a backside guard. We're going to start right here. Good picture. Set. Hut. There's a double team. That's the way to split it by jumping through there. Good job splitting the double team. There you go. Good picture on offense now. Here we go. Set. Hut. Pass. There we go. Never surprised by a pass. Good job. So wait, Raheem. Okay, we're still in a 5. We're here, and we're here. Set. Hut. Down his trap. There you go. Come down and spill it. All right, we're coming back. Now we're going to work our open side. Dwight's in a loose 5. Brandon's a tackle. Robert's a backside guard. And Josh is the near back. These are the only 3 things this guy can see as an end. He's getting off on the ball. Set. Hut. Can never be hooked that way. Way to get up the field. Penetration kills everything. Set. Hut. Down his trap. That's the way to come down and spill. Good job on a 3-on-1. Getting off on the ball, reading the blocker. Set. Hut. That's the way. Pass. Good job. Okay, we're going to move on to our 3 technique. He obviously has an offensive tackle, a guard, and a backside guard. What we're doing here is he's reading the blocks. As he's getting off on the ball and uses his quickness, he has to read this man. This man tells him his next response. There's only 3 things that can happen to this guy. He can get a high hat, which is a pass set. Obviously, we go and rush the passer. He can get a down block, which we know down is trap. Someone's going to come and trap him. Okay? The third thing that can happen is Brandon pulls inside, the center blocks back, pull, collision. They're not going to forget about you. Someone's going to block you every play. 3-on-1, right here. Set, hut. There we go. Good job on a scoop. There we go. Let the guard through. Good work. Here we go. Good picture by the offense. Set, hut. There's a high hat. Nice job. Good spin move. High hat is pass. All right, here we go. Good quickness. Set, hut. Down his trap. Nice job closing the trap. Moving on here to our cock nose position. Larry's going to be a cock nose. On Brandon, who's a center, we have a guard, a center, and another guard. And the same as before, you're either going to get a reach block, okay, where he's going to try to come and run the ball towards you. They're going to try to scoop away from you, or you'll get a pass. We're going to read those three. Hut! There, you can't be reached. Good job. There you go. Can't run at the cock nose. There, I'm going to give you a little extra one here. Here we go. Set. Hut! That's right there. Good job. There you go. Good work. All right. Number 2 block against the cock nose. Quickness. Good step. Set. Hut! Down the line. That's the way to get in the back door. Set. Hut! Hands, hands. Good job rushing the passer versus a high hat. We've been playing the cock nose since way back in Cleveland with Michael Dean Perry. Henry Thomas went to the Pro Bowl playing it. We really like the position. Okay, our cock nose lines up in a 45-degree angle on the center. What he's trying to do is take a little 6-inch jab and get in his hat in this crack. We don't want that center to be able to get off without the guard helping him. It's not a shade, it's a cock position. He's trying to get in that seam and run through all the time. Now when the center goes off, he escapes and flattens down the line. We Pythagorean. We think this scooping guard actually helps you make the play. In some of our techniques, we play heads up, like heads up on the tight end. We play in a 6. Sometimes we do on the nose. We have to get our hands and defeat the block. This is one time we're not in an edge. This is one time we're taking a guy down the middle. We like to practice on the Gilman sled. It's low. It gives us resistance, but it also has some give. Because I have an artificial knee, I can't get down there and demonstrate as good as Dyron can. So we're going to turn this section over to Dyron. It's going to feature Larry Triplett, who's our big nose. And then we'll go from there on our Gilman drills on the sled. Okay, Dyron.
So for our first drill, we got our violent hand drill. All right, we're just going from a 6-point position. Larry's going to be sitting straight up. Sit up, Larry. Sitting straight up. Hands right on the ground, a 6-point position. All right, he's going to strike his hand up under the pads of the Gilman dummy on the snap of the ball. All right, here we go. Sit, hit. Quick hands, quick explosion. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. All right. Now we move over to the next phase. The next phase is hands and hips. All right, we're going to get a little more hip pop, more violent hands, and a little more extension. All right, here we go. Set, hit. There you go. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. All right. From here we go to a 3-point violent hand. We're going to take one quick step. We're going to put all 3 together and we're going to go violent hands on the football. Set, hit. There you go. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. There you go. From here, we're going hit and release. We're going to put all the moves together. We're going to step, violent hands, hit, release down the line, chasing the football. Set, hit. There you go. Set, hit. 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 There you go. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit. Set, hit.
Next thing we're going to do, using the Gilman shiver ball, is we're going to have an offensive tackle block down, and then the ball's going to come represented back, coming to block our defensive end. He's going to have to use his hands to protect himself from getting cut. As you know, that's a legal block in the NFL, and anytime the little man comes to block the big guy, he's going to go low. So Dyron will represent the running back. Monte's our offensive tackle. Ski's the end.
We like the ball because we can simulate the cut block. As the ball's rolling to you, we can get full extension, full arms out, inside leg up, getting our body away from the cut block, being able to either skate out or run over the back. Set black 10. Black 10. Hut. There you go. Black 10. Black 10. Hut. There you go. Black 10. Black 10. Hut. Right now we got an offset back. All right, we got a toss coming this way. The fullback is trying to cut our end. Our end is going to take on the block and skate outside to stop the run. Set, black 10, black 10, hut. Set, black 10, black 10, hut.
We're going to go back to 1988. We invented these hoops in 1988. We were pouring concrete. We thought they'd change the 40-yard dash. This is the size of a top of a basketball key, so there's 3 of these in every gymnasium in the world. That's why they're designed. We think they're a great tool for teaching defensive linemen to dip and how to bore and how to turn and how to run on an angle. There's about 8 drills we do, and many different ways we work on running in a circle, running on an angle, dipping, rather than running a straight line, because defensive linemen are always ripping or swimming or turning. First drill we're going to do, we're going to start with Robert. Dyron will be out of the circle. When he drops his arms, Robert's just going to run the circle, but he's going to finish with picking up the towel. We always finish with the towel because it teaches the player to dip and be low rather than to run them up high. We'll run one to the right, then one to the left. Go on Dyron's movement. So we turn, now get a towel. Good job, all right. What we're trying to teach is leaning and boring and turning the corner on the hoop. We always go on movement, not sound. So we turn, lean, get the towel. Good job, way to finish, good bore. Okay, Robert's going to demonstrate the same thing, but as he comes all the way around the horn and comes all the way around, he has to finish with a strip on the quarterback using either hand. Dyron will set him off, run a good hoop, a good circle, and then finish with a strip on the quarterback. Turn, lean, strip. Good job. On movement, running a hoop and finish with a strip. Turn, lean, get a strip. That's the way to get the ball. An excellent job. Stay tight. That's the way to lean, get the ball. Great strip. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to run the hoop, but Robert's going to get a chop on this side and a chop on that side. We wear these Gilman arms for our ends can come in and really exaggerate chopping every time they come around the corner. This is good protection for the coach. I used to do this with just a forearm pad and the players killed me. So we'll go on his movement, get a chop on one side, and then meet him around the horn. Good work, excellent, good work. Nice work. Moving along with our battery of hoop drills. Brandon's now going to run the figure 8, but you'll see he's going to pick up a towel at each spot. Again, we're practicing turning, running the horn, boring. We're going to get a towel, drop it, come on the second one, get a towel, and drop it. We're going to finish right where we started. Running 2 hoops in a figure 8 and getting the towel. Get the towel. That's the way to work. Get the towel and finish. Excellent work. Okay, continuing the figure 8, Josh is going to go it this way. Remember, we're boring, and as we're turning the corner, we're getting that towel to exaggerate body lean, running low to the ground, missing, have that offensive tackle miss his punch. All right, Josh, on your own. Finish, finish, finish. Nice job. All right. Good work. Okay, staying with our hoop drills, we're now going to do what we call cat and mouse. We got the hoop set up like a 4-leaf clover. What we'll do is we'll start out, Brandon will be the mouse. You run on any hoop you want, change direction, dip, duck, go on any hoop you want. Robert, you have to catch them. Okay, we'll start you half a hoop apart. On Brandon's movement, he takes off. You try to catch him, both guys stay outside the hoop. Okay, Brandon, line up over here. When Brandon goes, Robert, go to catch him. That's it. Stay with it. Cat and mouse, stay with it. That's the way to run. That's the way to close the gap. That's the way to run. Catch him now. Finish, 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 finish. All right, good work. Good job, man. Good work. All right, good job. Give yourself a hand. Good work. All right, what we like about that is the cat has no idea where the mouse is going. There's no predetermination to move. It's all reaction. It's the way to work. All right, good job. All right, give yourself a hand. Good work. All right. Another thing we like to use the Gilman ladder. We used to do the high stepper, but guys trip and fall and get hurt. This is collapsible. It can go anywhere. We use conditioning and quick feet. As you know, in our system, it's all speed and quickness. Ski's going to start us out with what?
1 in the hole.
1 in the hole. That's the way to move. All right, good job. Good job. Okay, Robert's going to go every other one. That's the way to move. Okay, Robert's going to come back doing every one. Good fast feet. Nice job. This Gilman sled's been around 100 years. I hit one of these 20 years ago. It's a heck of a sled. It's great for tackling. Now, we don't do a lot of one-on-one open field tackling, so our proportion of work on tackling isn't as much as it is on hitting gaps and rushing the passer. But we still do have to tackle. So a few principles that we can work on this sled. One, obviously, we're going to be in a football position. We're going to get our head across the bow, okay? For then we're going to club with our arms. We're going to come back and club with our arms, digging the nails in, getting jersey, getting football, getting cloth, whatever we can. Now we're going to roll our hips and drive with our legs just for 3 steps and set them down. Obviously, the drills where you turn the sled over, we've done a million times. We're not going to do that here on the turf. We'll start off Monte tackling with the one side, Larry coming back in the other. Good form tackles. Head across the bow, club with the arms. There you go. Okay, one of the other things we do with our cocked noses is work on the pole, padded goalpost. The thing we like about it so much is something a guy can do on his own. He can do it in the off season, he can do it in his free time, and he can really improve. Okay, Larry will start us off and Brandon will follow. We'll have our backs to the camera, and we're going to start with our jab, our 6-inch jab and punch where you can't be reached. Okay, good. Good jab. Okay. On the other side, same thing again. Can't be reached, right? I'm the center. Okay, you're here. The center's trying to reach you, right? Oh, yeah. So take a 6-inch jab, and then afterwards finish plating down the line. Okay. That's it. That's it. 6-inch jab, good hand, and then finish. All right. All right, good work. Let's start with we're backdooring. We'll stay on the right. I'm the center. And what we're saying is the center now is going to come up and try to block the linebacker. So he's going to step here and you're going to be able to swim right off my back. Each take one on either side. Get your punch, then swim off. And backdoor. There you go. Good. There we go. Excellent. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is cross face. This is where the center, come on up, Larry. The center's going to block back on you. We'll start on this side. The center's going to block back, and we want you to be able to go across his face and make the play. I'll let you take one going this way, and Brian will take one going that way. On your own. There you go, good work. Nice job. Okay, and that concludes the stuff that our noses do. And again, what we like about it is they can get on the pole in the off season. They can do it without pads, without a helmet, and they can improve every day. And a lot of these drills came from Joe Klecko, who was one of the original cocked noses. Then we had Michael Dean Perry and Henry Thomas play it, and we're going to improve from there. Thank you.
Release Net is an excellent teaching and training aid for the development of your quarterback, both in season and during the long summer months when a player must improve his passing skills on their own. Your high release net will service the quarterback in a variety of ways. First and foremost, to improve passing techniques. It also has the capacity to play the role of an offensive receiver or defender based on your creativity and emphasis of a drill. In this tape, we'll attempt to show you the productivity and versatility of the high release net. Our warm-up position is referred to as frame-up. This frame-up position places our quarterback in the most advantageous passing position after a drop has been executed to ensure the development of good passing mechanics. Your Gilman high-release net is a coaching aid that has the ability to improve your quarterbacks in many critical areas. The daily warm-up's points of emphasis. Use a Gilman spot back to emphasize proper foot position. Your weight should be evenly distributed on the balls of both feet. Your spot back is used to emphasize keeping your left side left of the intended target and the flight of the football. Keep a slight bend in the left knee. Make your quarterback feel his weight transfer from the right to left foot, rolling up on the left toe. Fire and pivot your right hip toward the intended target. The left elbow is up and pointed across your body's midline. Pre-rotate your left side left of the intended pass flight line. Cock your left shoulder all the way around and under your chin. The football should be above your right shoulder or at armpit level in both hands. This is referred to as the ready position. Tuck your chin down. Our daily warm-up progression is broken down into 3 distinctive footwork phases. With each phase, we use one consistent high-release throwing motion. This is why the Gilman high-release net is invaluable. It forces your players to use one consistent throwing style. It allows you as a coach to zero in on the other important movable joints that require emphasis in the development of a passer's power and accuracy. Phase 1. Align in the frame-up position 10 yards from your partner with your high-release net set at 8 to 10 feet in height. Phase 1 is designed to place emphasis on weight transfer from the right side to your left side. Your quarterback's left foot should never move off the ground. Make sure he is pivoting the right hip and rolling up on his left toe. His right foot may end up in the front of the left foot upon follow-through, but never across the body's midline. Phase 2. Assume the frame-up position 12 yards from your throwing partner, with your high-release net between you and your counterpart. Phase 2 is without question the most important movement in this entire 3-phase warm-up progression. Its entire emphasis is on a short step with the left foot, short meaning no more than 3 to 4 inches in length.